and you know, go from there. But thankfully, I am getting the proper support. I'm doing pretty good. Getting the proper support for the work that I've done over years and the things that I've done over the years. So I'm getting a little more than most would normally get. And I'm very happy about that. So now I don't have to worry about eating. So I got the eating part figured out. I got the money part figured out. And I'm trying to give them a chance to figure the housing situation out. But I have to tell you, they're getting a little greedy. So I'm thinking I might have to just do it myself. I might just have to go, what do you call it? You know, get a regular 9 to 5 and just get myself a place, because this is getting a little, a little old. And they're going a little too far with it, so, Yep. And I'm doing pretty good fighting the urges, too. I haven't smoked in days. Very proud of myself. And I don't mean just cigarettes. I mean, I haven't been vaping or anything. I've been saving my money, so I got a lot more money than I normally do. I'm used to either smoking a pack a day or going through a vape in a couple of days. And now I'm a non-smoker. And I'll tell you, excuse me. And I'll tell you, people find it much more attractive, like not smoking. Now, not wearing my shoes sometimes, people don't really like that, but I don't much give a fuck. I do it because then people usually keep me off camera. So people are really, thankfully, very respectful of my privacy. So, like, if I'm not in the mood to be on camera, I'm not in the mood to take pictures with people, when I'm not in the mood to be signing autographs or be like, oh, God, I just take my shoes off. I'm telling you, you guys should try it. It's very effective. If you are someone in Hollywood that people want to pay attention to and you don't want them to bother you, just take your shoes off. Go barefoot. Wherever you go, people just look at you like you're nuts. And if they recognize you, they don't bother you because they're like embarrassed or weirded out or confused. And you usually don't lose the fans. They're just like very traumatized by the experience. And then when they come back online with you, you can just apologize to them. It's not that hard. So when I don't feel like talking to people, I just take my shoes off. And it works for me. It's about the only thing I can do because I never get time to myself. Like ever. I almost never get time to myself. So, now I just, whenever I want to be alone, I just take off my shoes. Yep, that's why they call me Step. Well, I'll tell you, that's the original reason why they started calling me Step, was because I go around without shoes. And then it turns out that that's my great-great-great-grandfather's name, which is pretty cool when you think about it. Is they nicknamed me my great-great-great-grandfather's, whatever, however many generations. My grandfather to the 5th generation, his name was Step. And that in English is Step. And they called me Step because I walk around as much as I do, oftentimes barefoot. But like I said, I do the barefoot thing just so people leave me alone. I got shoes. And I got a pair of flip-flops in my backpack. But right now, it's like, I'm just having one of those days where I don't really feel like being on camera or anything. So I take my shoes off, and then people, they usually just think I'm a homeless person, or they just get weirded out. So it works out. And then when someone's an asshole and I hear it out loud, I almost punch them in the face so they could, just pass out on the sidewalk. And then I remember that I'm a better man now, and I don't have to do what I used to do. I can be mature. I can be, nonviolent. I can be copacetic and agreeable. And I can just give the friendly reminder that if someone ever wants to take like an emergency nap, all they have to do is disrespect me. That's all you got to do. If you want an emergency nap, if you're super, super tired, all you got to do is disrespect me. I will help you take that nap real quick. But nowadays, you have to ask for it. If you don't ask for it, you don't get it, because that's just not my style anymore. I've grown up, and I'm proud of my choices. But barefoot on the boulevard, I love it. Thank you. Yeah, I'm about the only one that does it. There's 3 or 4 homeless people that are like not embarrassed to do it. I'd say I'm the only unhoused individual that walks around the boulevard barefoot who isn't clinically insane. But you know, it works for me, and especially when I just like. The other thing is, I got me some sandals, and the shoes I had were shoes that somebody had given me, and now I don't need them. I can buy my own, and so I got rid of those shoes that they gave me, and so I just had the sandals. And I didn't really want to use the sandals walking around as much. I didn't want the sandals to break. And I also don't want to like screw up my feet any further by just walking around the sandals. So I figured, you know what? I walked around this boulevard for 6 months when I first moved here without wearing shoes. I looked like an absolute nut. Everyone thought I was just clinically insane because I didn't say much to anybody. Little did they know. But I kind of just wanted to get the feel for the place, and I really invested in my time and energy into this area. It was worth it, and so I found my home, and now I figure I might as well just do what I want. So I do, and I'm pretty good with the timing of it. You know, there's usually a lot of people around pretty much any time, so I don't have the powers that be like having to change things so that I don't look like a complete a-hole. But you know, for the most part, I've managed to avoid scandal. I'm very happy about that. But that is mostly thanks to the kindness of individuals who understand and recognize how and why it's important to maintain discretion in reference to one another's privacy. So, yeah. Thanks for the hearts. Hey, how are you? I'll tell you what, I got to do another teeth whitening kit because even with my teeth brushed and properly taken care of, they're still more yellow, and that's because of the smoking. Like I said, I quit smoking. I'm not even smoking the vape no more. And I feel my energy levels are down. I'll get them back up. I'm going to the gym now, too, which is good. That's enough. Use that word again, we're going to have a problem. People in California need to understand the F word is worse than... You can say fuck, but don't say faggot. I'm serious. It's like a big, big no-no here. You don't use that word in California. Ever. I don't care what your reasoning is. You'll get run out of town real quick. And if not by someone else, by me. Like my voice, thank you. I mean, freedom of speech, you want to use those words, go ahead, but be very careful. Because you won't be keeping the best of company for too long. All right. So where were we? Just trying to keep my backpack on. Oh man, does it hurt? It's a good hurt. It's a good hurt. I'm just not used to having this much weight. Oh, excuse me. I'm just really hoping not to have to, what do you call it? I'm hoping not to have to end up having to smoke again because, you know, it's like too much, way too much. Like, I hate smoking. It's so bad for me. When I need that energy kick, I need to find an alternate solution. You know, because smoking was helpful, but it was so bad for me. Like, the benefits, what I got out of it wasn't worth it at all. So now I just don't. And then pretty soon I just won't talk about it at all. Because people don't even like hearing about it, honestly. Like, they're just like, ew, smoking. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty gross. I used to glorify it and everything, and then I learned, you know, it's and it's not just to get people's approval. It's really not. Like, I'm quitting because I do notice that when I do smoke, it pushes my body so much further. Like, I push myself way more than I should. It's almost like a drug. Smoking, even vaping, is almost like doing drugs, where it just pushes your body. That's enough. Far past its limits, you know, and it's really not healthy for you. So I've never done drugs, and I officially now do not smoke any longer, and I do not plan to go back to smoking anytime soon. Oh my gosh, that's a tough choice. I don't know. So you got to realize sometimes I need you guys to choose for me. All right? And if I go back to smoking, a lot of people are going to end up on the streets and losing jobs and moving out of LA. So let's do the best, smartest thing and make sure I don't go back to smoking. Like, no matter what, I do not return to smoking. incarceration isn't an option to keep me from smoking. But let's just be smart enough not to try and put one in my hands just because you're in a bad mood. You know what I'm saying? And smoking is not code word for women. I have been reapproved by the powers that be in my life that I'm good to start re-entering relationships and being involved with women. And I'm very excited about that. I have to say it's about time. You know, it's taken me long enough. And now I think it's, you know. Now, here's the only thing. Is I got people within the community of that, you know, that I'm a little more involved with who want to fuck me, for lack of a better way to say it. And I tell you what, I'm just like, they're wanting me to wait. You know, they're asking me to wait like a year or two till I can meet up with them to not be having sex down here in the valley. You know, like, no joke. They're kind of asking me though, like, well, as long as you don't be getting involved with the people down who live in the valley, who are living their regular lives, then when you get up here, you know, we could do what we do. And I'm like, well, we've already done. And they're like, well, now we could do it without having to worry about people knowing about it. I'm like, all right, you know. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess. But as of right now, I can tell you I'm meeting a lot of women down in the valley who are lookers. They're good looking. They're very interested. They're high caliber women. And they're willing to check me out even when I ain't wearing shoes. So, you know, I don't have any personal complaints. I'm just not really sure if I can wait 2 years. Okay, I could, but I'm probably not going to. We'll see what happens. Then again, whenever I moved to California about almost 2 years ago, you know, I've been living here in Hollywood for about 2 years, and I thought I was going to be having all this sex and I was going to be doing all this crazy stuff. And honestly, I've been more tame than I've been anywhere else. Anywhere, compared to anywhere that I've lived in the entire country, I have been the most appropriate and tame here in California. I'm gonna walk up today. Look, this guy's right behind me because I was making it look like I was gonna go take his stuffs. You can't abandon your post when you got a cup full of money. You don't walk away from that. It'll be gone in less than a minute. I'm telling you. That's how quick. He's lucky that I'm the guy walking by, because normally the guy walking by would be picking it up and taking it and leaving with it. You can't leave something. I'll tell you, the only time you can leave something is if you have somebody watching it. Now me, I could leave stuff because people know what I have. And, you know, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to admit it. I make an example of people. Like, if you go out of your way to cause harm to me, or you take my property, or you take something that I'm borrowing, well, I'm going to find you and I'm going to put you in your place. But if not, then we're usually good. So, for example, there was a guy who in 2023, there was somebody who had broken the door at Wahlburgers. Well, in reference to the Wahlberg family, it was a bit of a problem. So we went around town and we looked to see if we could find who it was. Well, I'll tell you what, that was one of those days where that person probably wished that I found them before the people of the street found them, because it turns out that the person who had done that was a person of the street. And you guys know that I try to diffuse the violence and diffuse the problems before the problems could even show up. Unfortunately, I did not get to the guy. I did not get to this person before the people of the street did. And I was not able to get to this person before law enforcement, or, you know, the people of the street did. Unfortunately, the people of the street got to them before law enforcement got to them too. And they were beaten to a pulp. And then what ended up happening was, after that person ended up getting incarcerated for breaking the door. So not only did they get the worst beatdown of their life for breaking the door at Wahlburgers, but then they ended up going to prison for like 4 years for breaking the door, for busting the window in that door. So, and that sucks. That really sucks. But that just tells you, don't get involved in the wrong stuff. If you can avoid problems, why get into problems if you don't have to? At least that's how I see it. All right, my Bluetooth, turn that off. Okay. All right, and I got 2 phones now, just so you know. I'm all prepped. I got everything I need, and I keep everything against the body. Anything of value, I keep against the body, and I keep it out of sight. So you would literally have to you'd have to rip into my pants and go to my groin area to get access to any of my stuff. So I don't have anything to worry about. I really don't. You'd have to strip me naked in a hotel to get to anything on my body. So I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, and I was just jealous. I wouldn't give her my dick. So she's like walking around taking pictures of me and shit. It's all right. I don't mind. I'm not even kidding you, man. Some of the women in this town are so thirsty, I can't even believe it. I don't mind. I like it. I'm glad they are. I just didn't expect the backlash for not fucking them. I really am surprised at the revolt, at the social revolt from my refusal to go to bed with some of these women. I didn't realize it was such a big deal. I really didn't. Apparently it's a culture thing where they kind of expect you to, and you have to, and if you don't, you can cause a problem socially. And oops, sorry. It's not my fault that she had to be the boss. And for me, I'll follow your lead, but you got to initiate that first. But if I'm walking where I'm walking, and I'm walking in a direction where I'm walking, unless you come in my direction, I'm not following you. I'm not a freaking weirdo. I'm not weird. I'm not a creep. So I'm not following you down a back alley if I've never spoken to you before. If that's your culture, good for you. It's not to disrespect your culture, just in respect to my culture. If you want to have sex, well, then meet me somewhere and say something, the way I grew up is you kind of talk about it first, And if you don't want to talk about it and that's your culture, that's fine. If I'm at a party and I'm half drunk, that's different. I'd be more than happy to meet you in the bathroom for a blowjob. But if we're not in the bathroom and getting that done that way, it's not really my thing because I don't know you. I've never talked to you before. And then you're getting mad at me and taking pictures of me because I didn't have sex with you. I don't even know your name. It's weird. And then how weird do I seem, I gotta go all the way off the rail for you just because you had I guess what I'm saying is next time if you're upset because I'm not getting with you, try introducing yourself first. That's about all I need is a little respect and a proper introduction. And I know that's asking for a lot around here, but you're kind of asking a lot of me too. You're asking me to take 2 to 3 hours out of my time, 2 to 3 hours at minimum, to have fun with you. And then there's still no guarantee. I might have to get up and go back to my bed in the morning or before in the morning. And that's a lot of energy. So you're telling me, I just want you to think of what quality guys you're going to find that are going to meet you in the middle of the night, have sex with you, and then leave you before morning. I'm just saying, I don't really understand that. Maybe it's a don't knock it till you try it type of thing. So I'd have to try it first, the whole have sex and then you have meaningless sex, don't even know the person's name, don't even go home with them, whatever you're doing. I've just never done that. I've just never done it. So I don't really understand the value of it yet. But I have, been propositioned by women to jump into that culture and to like do stuff like that. But I don't really understand it. I was raised traditional. I was raised very traditional. So like a lot of this kind of thing that I'm experiencing out here is like so new to me. And even almost 2 years in, it's still new to me. So, you know. I'm just one of those moods where I'm going to go get me some water. And then I'm going to find somewhere to sit down. You know, I'll probably rest for the night. That's probably what I'm going to do. I will say we live in a very vain culture. And when I say vain, I mean a very self-centered, like, I don't want to say narcissistic. I think the tendencies are there for all of us. But we live in a culture of people that really do assume that so much is about themselves. Like for me, I am probably one of the top 5 most self-centered people you will ever meet in your entire life. Like more of my life is about me than pretty much anybody else who makes their lives about them. But I still recognize and understand that like my life isn't totally about me, right? So like I make those moves and I know what to do. But so many people who like you want to have a center to yourself, like to your mind and your behavior. That's just my opinion, you know. Because if you don't have some sort of center to yourself that's based on your personality, then it's tough to be rooted and like focused. And it's actually a lot easier to pay attention to what the people around you are doing and what they should be doing, what they're thinking, how they're feeling, if you have yourself situated internally. And I mean, when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. That's what they say about society, is that in society, right, you're supposed to take care of yourself first so you can take care of the next person better too. Well, to take care of the next person, you got to take care of yourself. So inside, it's the same way. You got to be self-centered and focused on the inside of who you are, right? Like what I'm saying does make sense. And if it doesn't make sense to you, you were probably raised in the city. And I'm sorry to hear that you don't understand plain English. I'm glad that you understand correct English. Maybe you understand true English. Maybe you understand proper English. I personally understand plain English. Good old-fashioned, original American English is what I was raised on. So 90% of the populace wonders what the heck I'm saying when I speak. But to the 10% of you who know what I'm saying and don't breathe disgusting ass smoke in my face, you know what I'm talking about. Now, thankfully, I'm a healthy person. So, you know, since I've stopped smoking, it's only taken me a couple of days. Well, you're really handsome. So this guy was looking at me, wondering why I'm looking at him. He was strikingly gorgeous. He's a very handsome man. And he just caught me off guard. I looked at him, I was like, whoa. It's like I was looking at TV. Oh, she has Mother Mary. Hi, how are you? How much for St. Jude or Mother Mary? How much?
20.
20 for? Okay.
20.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. You have a good day.
Bye.
I'm trying not to wear too much, like, so I was raised Catholic, and I love my Lord. I do. I love God. I love Christ. Christ is my God. He's the only God in the universe, in any universe that I bow to. But I don't want to wear any religious or quasi-religious memorabilia because it's just so easy for people to get confused about your personality, who you are, what or who you represent. You know, especially around here, it could be dangerous to wear something religious or religiously related. Even colors, wearing certain colors around here can be dangerous on the street. So I'm very careful about how I dress. I try to dress in plain clothes. I try not to wear anything that's too gaudy or that stands out too much or is too bright. And I try to keep it to either patterns that are directive to certain brands such as Disney, or just like I said, totally, I mean, literally perfect example. Like my shirt is just plain. There's nothing on it. There's no symbols. There's no branding on it. But then my shorts are Star Wars, right? They're Disney, and so Disney's a pretty easy go-to. I guess I'm spitting advice. If you come out here, just easy stuff to wear that don't get you in trouble or attract trouble. If you're just someone who's trying to visit and ain't involved in anything interesting in those ways, things that are interesting in unique ways, and you're just trying to fall in line and have fun and mind your own business, Now I'll tell you my personality. I see people right in front of me that are dressed really cool, and like that's probably how I would dress. But as of right now in my life, I'm in a space where, socially speaking, I have to kind of blend in a little bit just for my own safety. So I'm, dressed in this way, especially considering I never shut my mouth. So, I have to be very careful about that. Oh, excuse me. But like I said, I still have fun. Yes, sir. Ready? Excuse me. All right. So, great point. You gotta look out for you. No one else will. Thank you for commenting. I was over here just talking. I didn't even realize you were listening. I was kind of just talking to vent. Star Wars shorts. Yeah. I got Baby Yoda shorts. Yeah, it's just hard. Baby Yoda. Congrats on quitting smoking. It's really hard. Yeah, I'll tell you what. For me, quitting smoking is really easy because I do want to have more kids, and if I'm actually going to get the chance to raise the next kid I have, I'm going to have to not smoke. If I'm going to, if in my mind I'm going to look at my spouse or the woman that I'm with and say, "Oh, well, I don't like smoking around the kid." Well, that means I shouldn't be either, obviously. So for me, I think I'm just not going to smoke, and that's it. I never really wanted to begin with. I just kind of got baited into it. And this is outside of California that I got baited into smoking. And then I grew out of it, I just matured out of it. You too? I have nice eyes. Thank you. That's so creepy. So beyond creepy. Man. See, and I'll tell you, another thing. I came to the city, right? And people are talking about magic and they're talking about all this different stuff. I'll tell you what, where I'm from, we don't call it magic. It's just stuff that you do. I don't know why everybody got to put a label on everything all the time. Where I'm from, you kind of just do stuff. You don't put a lot of thought into it. There's common sense. And then there's this magical thing that no one's ever heard of called common sense. And as long as you stick to common sense, you should be just fine. And if you don't know what common sense is, well, I'll tell you, the reason you might not know what common sense is because common sense nowadays is not all that common. That's 2. Make it 3. I'll never fuck with you again in any reality. All right. Yeah, I know. You want to play with me like that? Play with me in real life, in person. I'm not into that. Not into that this way. It's cute when we're younger, but I'm a full-grown adult. So right now I'm not feeling it because I really have to focus. I got a lot going on. You didn't distract me. You didn't hurt my feelings. I appreciate your attention quite a bit, actually. But as of right now, I really have to focus. I got to get to some water. Then I have to get to rest. And then once I'm sitting and I lay my stuff out for the night, then we can hang out and talk and whatever else. I'm up for anything. Almost anything. Once I sit down to rest. But for now, I can't. And I don't even think I'm going to be getting to the water because I'd have to grab into my backpack. And you did not break up with her for me. No, you didn't. I got you two to break up because she was going to murder your ass in the hills. You're welcome. Moving on. I am taking credit for that because last time you took credit for something I did, and I let you do it. So this time, no way. I'm taking that credit. That I don't know what to do about, honestly. I wish it would go away. I wish he would just. He's not even homeless. That's what bothers me. Did I start breakdancing classes? No, I'm not doing breakdance. Funny though, funny. So I always love it when I'm walking on the boulevard and someone gives me Morse code through the stone, or they just tap the stone trying to get me to freeze so that they could go ahead of me. And it's just like they fuck up everybody's vibe. Like everybody's just doing their own thing. And somebody's got to be cool, you know? Someone's got to play a game somewhere, got to be cool. It's so irritating because, like, everybody's in the middle of something, doing their own thing. Ugh, like trying to tell me what to do on top of it. Like, I don't know you. I don't care what flag you fly. If I don't recognize your face, I ain't doing what you say. That's how I roll. Everybody in Hollywood knows that that's how I roll. That if I don't know who it is talking to me, and I don't see your face or recognize you, I'm not going to do what you tell me to do. That don't matter if you're a layman. That don't matter if you're an officer. I'll tell you, if you're an officer and I don't recognize you, I'll do what I'm told, but later on you'll pay for it, financially speaking. But beyond that, you know, if I don't know who you are, I'm just not going to do it. So you gotta, you know, I don't care who you tell me you are. If you can't prove it, then I'm not interested. But if you can prove it, then I might do what you want me to do. You know? All right, that's enough. Go. That's enough. People trying to get into the broadcast, just being nosy. They're trying to be helpful. I don't think most people are used to somebody like me who's doing their own thing. And when I say doing my own thing, I mean I'm really doing my own thing. So, start breakdance. Yeah, I actually didn't say anything about wanting to break dance, but I did talk about hip hop dance, and I do have an interest in that. And I am pretty good at it, actually, believe it or not. So what you see of me when I walk the way that I walk is because of how far and how often I walk. But whenever I have proper rest, you should see me. I'm quite flexible. So I know how to move. I know how to dance. And I know how to keep my mouth shut when I dance so I don't sound stupid. And I don't ruin it for everybody watching. Excuse me. Oh, got it. Yeah, it's just when I got my backpack and no shoes, it's just that, like I said, that mental illness people have where they think there's a social hierarchy in America that just comes into play. That's all right. I try to remind them from time to time what country they're in. They're like, I'm not from here. I'm like, yeah, but you're visiting. Our country, our rules. We like having you here, and we appreciate bringing you here. But we also appreciate respect for our culture when you are here. We respect your culture, but just being polite to our culture is something we'll tolerate. But don't worry, the bill will show up in the mail when you get home unless you give us proper respect. We know how to keep our country alive and pumping. That's for sure. Or the most, anyway. All right. There's a name that keeps coming up. Okay, so over and over, I kept passing Doris Day's star. And I ain't clairvoyant or anything like that. But being in Hollywood, interesting stuff happens. I meet interesting people. And that's enough. One person that keeps coming up, the name that keeps coming up is Doris Day. I just so happen to look down at her star every time I pass the name. And I don't know why or what that has to do with anything. And then now I hear people, it's the second person I've heard talking about Doris Day. So I don't know who Doris Day is, but I am to the point where I am now going to Google, not mine. I am now going to Google who Doris Day is because I don't know who she is, but now I'm going to have to find out. But apparently she's a very popular figure with some of the people that I've associated with here in the area. Because I've noticed there's been, just like I said, she's come up here and there for certain reasons. Reasons that I still have yet to Reasons that are, I should say it this way, reasons that are still unbeknownst to me. Yeah, I think the cops need help tonight. They're not too sure about what they're doing. I know you're guilty. You're fine. I don't give a fuck. I ain't a cop. See, that's the other thing, is when you're a guy like me, where you roll so close to the police. So like they're always somewhere close with me, and so I always know what they're doing. And then it's real easy for me to tell if people are doing what they're supposed to be doing, or if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Like tempting me with a cigarette is enough to give you emphysema, because God's a bitch. And so is karma. So, even if you're doing your social job, the fact of the matter is the God of the universe don't care. Doesn't care, what your social rules are. And some people are like, that God's not real. And then you get emphysema and you're like, oh, well, that sucks. But yeah, I mean, I can't tell you. I've tried every way of life that I could possibly come up with. And when it comes down to it, I just can't deny certain patterns and realities that I personally experienced in reference to, the existence of Christ and the power that Jesus does have. So for me, like, I'm cool with everything and everybody. And for me, I bow to the feet of Jesus, because he's the one God that has never failed to be able to punish me or to put me in my place when necessary. And the only one that seems to be able to admonish me or forgive me for things that I do that, may not be the best. Whereas the rest of society doesn't seem to have the manpower, the ability, or the resources to do so. So... and guys, you got to stop making fake calls to the police. It's really not funny. Do not be calling the police because I'm Bigfoot. It's not funny. You're going to pay restitution. It's not funny. It is legal. It is legal for me walking around town. People watching me on live stream that are involved with or associated with or are law enforcement in my broadcast, and they watch what I do. And if you call the police, I just want to help you understand something. If you call the police and say that I'm live streaming in public and causing a nuisance, and I'm going to pay restitution. So stop making fake calls to the cops because you're pissing them off. They will. The cops from here in California, they are, especially in Los Angeles County, and even more so. Like, this isn't just a police state. Hollywood is like one of the most policed hubs in all of the United States. Like, we are second in reference to the amount of law enforcement we have. Los Angeles County is the second largest police force, has the second largest police force next to New York. So let me go to the bathroom because I have to go, and the next bathroom is real far away. So yeah, like, don't mess with them, because when I tell you the police officers in the Hollywood division here will call your home state, like, will find where you live. They will trace back your IP address. They will find where you live. If you make more than 2 or 3 fake calls to them, they will trace back your IP address, trace the phone number, even if it's fake. They will call to your home state where your police officers are. They will call your local law enforcement, and they will get you. You'll get a bill in the mail for restitution, and you'll get a ticket. So do not mess with the state of California. It is like the worst idea you could possibly come up with. You might feel clever, but especially post-COVID, when I tell you they do not play around, I mean, like this guy who won't stop, who only makes a comment after I start talking about it. He may or may not be undercover law enforcement, and he does was bills in eventually and out of parents. Yeah, that's actually a capital offense. Get out of my broadcast. Just so you know where I'm at right now. Yeah, that's good. Very good. That's right. Bring up the block button. Do not block the block button. Doesn't matter if you're trying to help. I don't care. The fact of the matter is the State Department does frequent this area. And so if you're going to fuck with me on here in that way, in a way where you're preventing me from pressing my own block button, well, don't worry. You'll get a visit from the State Department. Can I take a piss in peace?
Go ahead.
I'm not allowed to take a piss in peace? You motherfucker. You know what you did today? I hate you. I fucking hate you. You know why?
Run and bleed.
Because your dumbass almost got me in trouble.
Run.
Shut up.
Go.
I went into the fucking... Did you just go... Don't go on camera. I went into the cafe and I put my backpack down. You know what I found on top of it? I found a fucking cigarette. I threw that cigarette. I don't smoke anymore. I don't. Thank you for the offer.
That was the one cigarette you ever had in your life.
That would have been the best. I bet that would have been the best cigarette I ever had. I believe you. But I just want to say thank you for your kindness. I no longer smoke. I don't have a lighter. I don't even have a lighter on me. I am live in front of 210 people. You guys never heard that. You didn't even hear that. And now just for that, you got to hear me piss. You're on in my pocket, but I'm not turning the volume off, so they have to get rid of this broadcast. Give me a second. Okay. Ouch. Yeah, you're just mad because I didn't answer your message in your time frame that you preferred. Go away. Friggin' complainer. Ew, Angie, no. Angie, I'll tell you what, I am so blessed and lucky that I went all this time without ever knowing about 90% of what goes on in the dark. And now that you can go in. Oh, I got you. What do you call it? Now that I know what goes on in the dark and I have a lot of fun with it, I am still particularly selective about what I do when the lights are out. And anyway, not even fun. It's also hilarious at the exact same time. Yeah, don't worry. He's getting federally indicted. I think they're months away from getting him put away. I don't really care. It's none of my business anymore. Where is it going? I was going this way. That's right. I'm going home. Pun intended. Yeah, but I've been doing pretty good. It's just where are we at? Yeah, that's enough. That's enough. I feel like I can't wait till they put Steve in prison and he shows up and he just starts going beast mode. Because God's honest truth, I see it. I see how much he's faking that he's not a criminal. He tries so hard to play off the role of being a regular citizen. He's like, I'm upstanding and I'm this. Guys, I guarantee you the moment they put cuffs on his hands, he's going to turn into a badass. You just watch. He will. The whole mask is going to come off. He's going to go into bratty mode and be bitching and complaining. Why can't I get what I want? You can't arrest me. And it's going to be fucking hilarious. It's going to be fantastic. But until then, we ignore. Yes. Yes. I will take care of that soon. Already got it done, actually. Everyone has their preferences. That's right. Everyone has their preferences. My preference is rather traditional. Your connection keeps dropping. Oh, that sucks. Well, I'll tell you what. If you come in on a profile that isn't a fake name, then you probably won't lose connection. But like, I'm to a point where they're pretty much tracking everything that I do, because I think we got past like 600. So now they're starting to care whether or not people are watching or who's watching. Yeah, that was theft. Take that. Thank you. What do you call it? But there's people trying to steal my social signals. So I got all these signals coming into my phone, right? Like a massive amount of signals because of the amount of people that come into the broadcast or whatever. I don't even know how it works. I really don't know how it works. I genuinely don't. But what I do know is when these people that try to steal from me, they'll come close to me. And like those will start getting notifications. They'll start getting shit to their phone. They'll be getting people following them and shit. And so I don't really mind. It's just when people go overboard or it's somebody I don't know. Like these kids just crossed the street where there was a shooting like 3 days ago. And it's like just shady shit. I'm like, no, I don't want that. Because when they steal my social signals, then it brings their people and their trash into my broadcast. It brings their trash into my environment. So when I have someone trying to steal from me my social signals, it brings thieves into my environment, into my digital environment. And I got a fucking problem with that. So for me, I don't mind that they're tracking my shit, because for me personally, law enforcement is like a filter. It keeps the trash away from me. Now in real life, whatever you do is what you do. It's none of my business. I would just don't do it to me. Don't do it to me. But on the internet, I need that filter. I can't go without that filter, because like if I can't see your real name, I don't know who I'm talking to. I could be talking to a serial killer for all I know. And I don't need psychopaths and serial killers and trash diggers in my broadcast. I don't. I really don't. And I don't want to be anywhere near it. But as of right now, I don't have much of a choice in real life. But, at least I have that option on the internet. It's not the person who's picking trash that I got a problem with. It's the picking trash that I got a problem with. It pisses me off. It's fucking disgusting. And totally unnecessary. And don't tell me it's not. Because even in the position when you got no other option than to pick trash, there's still options. And don't tell me there isn't, because I've been there and I get it. And I've surpassed it. And I'm not doing it again. Fair warning. One warning. Not happening. Not doing it again. Now that we're on the same page, let's move on. You guys are lucky I took my shoes off just to buy you a little fucking time. I still got them in my backpack, but I'm not getting ready. Can you believe somebody was like, all right, now just throw your shoes out, because then they don't have evidence on my case. I'm like, that sucks for you, you little bitch. Like, don't commit a crime next time. How about that? Tell me to get rid of my shoes so you don't get caught. Like, how far do you want me to go for you? I'm not your husband. Like, for God's sake. I don't know if I'd even do... Okay, I would do that. I'd do that for my own wife. I'd do anything for my wife. I still do anything for my wife. But if I don't know you, I don't fucking care. And thanks to that, my wife lets me have girlfriends. I kid you not. I got the best wife in the world. She don't live here. She don't live anywhere near here. But my wife is cool with me having girlfriends and, like, fucking around and shit. And apparently she does whatever she wants. So, and apparently she doesn't want to do anything but wait for me. So that also guilts me into, like, not really doing anything with anybody for the most part. So, I mean, literally, since I moved to LA, I've had 2 blowjobs and that's it. I swear to God, I haven't done anything else with, like, anybody. Now, when I first got taken off the leash, and she sent me out there, and she's like, "Go do whatever you want," I had sex with like 4 people. I kid you not, and I pounded them the fuck out. It was fantastic. But now I'm more tame, I'm more career focused. And I also think it's funny when I say career focused while I'm walking around barefoot, just because like people don't know how to like grasp that social construct of freedom, that I'm just allowing myself to be grounded. But like people have like their own ideas. Like everybody's got their own notion of why I might be without shoes right now. For me, I like being grounded, and it also keeps people for the most part from like recognizing me or noticing me when I'm in public. Hi. She like, that was sweet. That was a really nice way of saying hi. Like, I'm maintaining my privacy, but she was also being kind. Where are we at? Let me see. Catching up. Beast mode. Why was I peeing on? I wasn't peeing on camera. Who told you? You guys need check your motherfucking sources. That's your problem. You guys do not check your sources. You trust people that lie to you. That's why you're all fucked up. Says, you think an open relationship is healthy? Yeah. Yeah, I think open relationships are healthy for people that prefer them. I think especially if you're someone who's like been through a lot and you're not necessarily like ready for commitment yet, a lot of times, having an open relationship could be a healthy option. I can tell you that's something that's part of why it works for me and my wife, is like she has been through a lot. She's been through a lot. And I've been through a lot. And we've been through a lot together. And so we both thought that the whole open thing would work for the two of us. Well, it turns out I think the open relationship thing really works for me, but I don't think the open relationship thing really works for her. But she's still letting me do it. So what I chose to do for the most part is just not do anything with anybody. And I'm not lying about it either. I'm not just saying I'm not doing stuff with most people just to be, that way. But in all seriousness, I'm not saying I'm proud of myself for just, being with two people. But I have a hard time getting with anybody, to tell you the truth, just because of that. Just because I know that there's a lot of time there where she's still committed to me, and even though she's comfortable with me doing whatever I want, it does break my heart. I do. I got a heart for her. I love her more than anything in the world. I love her more than my own life. I really do. And I lie to you, and I'll tell you, I care about my country more. I care about whatever more, God more. I care about my own woman more than I care about my own God. So for me, I'll do anything for her, and I won't do anything for her, if you know what I mean by that. And I know that she doesn't want me sleeping with other women, even though she's comfortable with it. So most of the time I don't. Every now and again, I fall in, and I will. But for the most part, I do pretty good, And for all I know, she might be testing me. I don't know. There's a possibility that she's just testing me to see what I would do or wouldn't do. And, I can tell you, if she's testing me, I failed, because I did, like I said, I fucked 4 women and got 2 blowjobs. But other than that, as long as she ain't testing me, I should be in the clear. But if she is testing me, I'm pretty sure I'm going to land some deep shit. So... where does my wife stay? Oh, I don't talk about my wife, and you guys should consider yourself privileged to know about my son, because the last guy to bring up my son was murdered in public as an example. You do not bring up or ask about my son, and you especially do not, when I say murdered, he wasn't murdered, so it was a righteous kill. It was technically a legal kill. It wasn't a crime. So yeah, just don't bring up my son. Do not, if you have any sort of brains, I don't care if it's your social role to be an asshole. I don't care what it is. No matter what, do not break the golden rule. You bring up my son, you invite certain death. Do not ever, for any reason, bring up my son, or I promise that you will meet your God. I promise you that. I can't promise you death, but I promise you'll meet your God. And for most of you who think your gods are so amazing, Well, with all due respect, you worship gods you do not know. And you worship gods that I do know. In the proverbial sense. In the hermetic sense. I've done my research and I probably know your God better than you do. And if you doubt that, try me on it. You might know more about your God, but I tell you, most of the people and the things that you worship out there are vicious. You have no idea until you know. Thanks for the follows and the hearts. I need to go. Central Casting registers an extra. They're over on Magnolia. I will have to check that out. Gonna have a hard time supporting your family without a job, bud. When it's in your maybe, huh? Understand, respect that, true love. That's I really respect our respect has to be demanded. But from time to time, respect does have to be demanded. And respect and obedience are not always hand in hand. For people who are mistaken about those two very different, two, like, respect and obedience are not the same. They don't go hand in hand. Sometimes to respect is to obey, and sometimes to remain obedient. You have to respect somebody, right? But realistically, respect and obedience are not the same thing. So for me, I expect respect from people. I don't expect obedience. I do expect respect. And I expect it either through someone who already understands the value of connecting and being respectful to begin with, people that I have to ask for respect and I don't mind asking because that's my personality, or people I have to demand respect from because they're not smart enough to give it to me. And that's what it is when someone isn't intelligent enough to give you respect, they're the people that have to learn the hard way. And for some of them, it takes years, not just months. So, like, I got people on the street who now give me, like, you heard what I said to that one dude, right? You heard all that stuff. If anybody else said that to him, he would have done the unspeakable right then and there. I kid you not. And you guys heard me say it to you right on live camera. He would have just taken somebody's life. He would have just for that. And he stood up and gave me a hug because I earned that respect from him. Now that was the hug of Judas. That was like, I'm gonna friggin' take your life in your sleep kind of hug. But that's a language him and I share because him and I cannot stand one another. But in this symbiotic relationship that we maintain in this environment, I am necessary for his survival. And because he is not necessary for my survival, I can get away with saying what I want to say to him. But I try to keep it to a minimum because I want to maintain the respect. So then who would I be to destroy that respect and then expect it at the same time? In order to dominate someone, you don't have to maintain control. And people don't understand that. Like, if you have somebody in your life that's unhealthy for you, that you can't get out of your environment, you don't have to destroy everything about them. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is maintain control of the conversations you have with them. And then from there, they will shift into an environment more appropriate for them. And they'll usually stay away from you and they won't bother you. And that was a yes. So for me, I'm pretty good at keeping most people out of my environment that I don't want in my environment. And I'm good at bringing people into my environment, hell yeah, that I want in my environment. And I'm also good at finding out who runs who and who tells who what to do. That way I could have conversations with the boss when I want to date their proverbial daughter. You know, when I meet someone who is just drop dead gorgeous and I'm not trying to just hang out with them for a night, well, I got to figure out who they work for. And whereas when I first moved to town, it took me a couple of months to figure out, now within 5 minutes, I know who they work for. And so I'm pretty close to having a girlfriend, which is something I didn't think I was going to have. But, you know, I went from thinking, oh, I'm just going to go party and screw around to thinking, well, you know, I spent my whole life preparing for marriage and now I'm in a proper marriage, but she wants her own life and I'm living my own life just because of my background. She wants to be separate. I'm using my peripherals. But for me, you know, I just, I can't do the whole hookup culture because I'm just not built for it. I wasn't. Go, oh, that just reminded me that I got a friggin' burger in my backpack. Yes. Oh, what a good day. Now I need water, but I really don't feel like putting my shoes on right now. Yeah, do I need water? I could get one from one of these stands, but I feel I don't want to waste my money. We need you know what? We need one of these vendors. We need a food truck. It's something you got a lot of homeless people, right? That can't go in these buildings, right? They get kicked out of the buildings. If we had a vendor that accepted EBT, we would be able to get these homeless people to be spending their money on food instead of trying to sell their food stamps for drugs. They'd actually buy food if we had vendors that accepted EBT. Just an idea. Just an, you know, if there was anybody out there brave enough to try putting up a vendor's tent or a vendor's cart that accepted EBT, if you could find a way to do that, then friggin' you'd have all the homeless people spending their food stamps on food instead of spending their food stamps on drugs by selling them to other people. So that's just something I just came up with right now that I feel pretty smart about, which I'm sure people have come up with 1,000 times before. But like I said, if you can do it, give it a try.
Voy a seguir cueleando, mo.
Thanks for the follow. Sorry, there's just a guy that has the hots for my sister who just will not. No matter how many times I block him, he won't leave me alone. I swear. He's got this huge crush on my sister. And okay, I'm lying. He's got a huge crush on me. And he's like stalking me at this point. No matter how many times I block him, he just keeps showing up. I'm so sick of it. Oh, but I have to get something to drink with this burger, but I don't want to. Oh, I don't want to go inside. Okay. It's like I'm done faking being a pussy just for people that don't feel like moving on in their lives. Being a wimp, whatever word you want to use. I'm sorry for being culturally and socially disrespectful. But I'm going to throw my sandals on because I need water. I am thirsty. And I want it now. Not like 3 or 4 hours when it's too late for me to buy it. Hello, how are you? Sorry, like I said, I got people who know that they're extremely fucked. And I don't know why they think it's my problem. It's just not. They're like, we're going to get you. I'm like, actually, no, the cops are going to get you. Stop giving signs to me because you're going to get yourself arrested. I'm not going to get murdered. You're going to get murked. They'll put 3 tasers on you since one doesn't work. I don't want that for you, but I mean, at this point, you're trying to force your way into my environment. So, I don't have any choice but to either get rid of you myself or to do the merciful thing and just let the cops get you. So that's what I'm trying to do is, am I passing you off to the police? Honestly, yes, I am. Because if the police don't get you, then I'm going to get you. And you don't want that. You would rather the police. I know everybody's like, I want to be tough. And then they don't put up a monument in your name. I'll tell you, it's a very sad thing. When somebody dies in prison, you know what happens? It's real sad for 5 minutes and everyone forgets it the next day. And it sucks. So, you know, it's not a game. It's not a joke. It's not fun. And most of these people out here that want to live the culture and they want to live that lifestyle, they all want to live the lifestyle until it gets real. Me personally, I don't want the lifestyle. And I'm honest about not wanting the lifestyle. You know, I don't want it. And I don't want the drama. So, give me 1 second to put my phone down. I throw my shoes on. I'm going to go in the store real quick, get myself some water.
I still love you. Train. Train.
Anybody, ever. And he just sits there with his signs and minds his own business. And people throw money his way, right? Then you got people that are following people around. The type of people that have to go. You know, and just in reference to the people on our street. And then last but not least is you have the people who will just sit in front of a business and be so annoying. And I don't go for that in the slightest. I really don't go for it. So, you know, they'll be looking at me like I'm going to give them something. And the only thing I want to give them is the boot. But I don't, because I was raised better than that. And some people will say, are you proud of yourself for that? And I say, you know what? Actually, I am proud of myself for that, because on a regular day, I would give them the boot. And nowadays, I don't. I mind my own business, and I'm proud of myself for being able to mind my own business and doing so effectively. I was looking for electrolytes. There we are. There we are. Okay. Where am I going? Hello. I am wandering off into the wilderness that is CVS and self-to the register. I can buy a walk on and drunk. I swear on you, right hand up. I do not. No offense to anyone that does. Now, if I'm partying, it's different. There was water right here. How much is it? Well, that beats that. And that's local, so we're gonna do. Yeah, we're doing the local water. So if you didn't know, I actually looked this up. That Arrowhead water is actually not made. However you say made water. I don't know how you say made water, but you know the water's from California. So. Is it Tennessee or California? I don't fucking know. The point is I get the Arrowhead water because it's supporting local business. So, before I talk out my ass any worse than I already am. Oh my God. I picked the right time too. We got a nice long line. I got an excuse to not cause a social disruption. Are you in line? No. Okay. There we are. Oh, God. Sorry, high mentality. It's very taxing. God bless the plebs. I'm actually at a CVS right now, I shit you not. Using an EBT card. Go figure. They said, oh, he'd never do it. He's too posh. He's too special. So you know what? Fuck you. I'll even be homeless. I'll tell you what, I had the time of my life. And now I'm coming out of it on my own. People say, oh, no, you got family doing it now. No, I don't. I get a care package every now and again, but so does everybody else. Yeah, I'm gonna take this lock because I'm gonna take both of them because I am not gonna have some scum reach into my backpack when I'm fast asleep. Not happening. See, it's just this real unfortunate thing where, like, the entire social quota, I don't know, like, everything, how things work in society got thrown off during COVID. And now people are like, we're just going to, like, fit that all into the mix. And it's just, between the technological advances we've had over the past decade and then the international pandemic, it's just pretty much nobody is anywhere they're supposed to be at any point in time. And we really think we are because we're, like, actually that full of ourselves. And I found that out by just kind of like doing whatever I wanted and still not getting in trouble. I thought I was right about it. It turns out I was right about it. Probably going to take us another 10 to 15 years to actually get things organized. But for now, we're actually, believe it or not, for the most disorganized country in the entire world, we are leading the way and actually doing what we're supposed to do. God bless America. Bonne nuit. So it might be on a journey. Yeah, I'm on a journey to nowhere. Circles in Hollywood. Over and over. Doing a whole bunch. I did in the porta potty like 3 days ago. So, like I said, don't get desensitized. And no, I didn't do it the way most people do it, where like they have a whole bunch of stuff before they go do the thing. Like I didn't have backup, and nobody knew it was me for the most part. So. One thing that's hilarious about living here, most people look like someone that is in like TV or the movies. Like everybody looks related to somebody famous, and it's just freaking hilarious. Cracks me up. I know it's not like, why is it funny? Just to me, it's just, I don't know. It's just like It's just like trippy. It's just really trippy. I don't know how else to describe it. What's up, dude?
How you doing today?
Pretty good.
Just these for you?
Yeah. And then I got, what do you call it?
Yes, no?
I do.
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'm like half asleep. Do not mind me.
Oh, no problem. Same here. Long day. It's going to be 25.46. Oh, looks like you got some coupons. Do you want to use these coupons?
Yes.
All of them? You got like 58 cent, 50 cent.
Yeah, you can throw them on there.
That should be pretty awesome. Alright, drop it down to 23.70.
Sweet.
Do you want that, please?
Is it free? No. Yes. No. Yeah. Sounds good to me.
So we can still get looks like that may not have worked. Let's try it.
Want to do it again?
It could be our.
Am I supposed to do it this way or that way?
I think that the other thing. Yeah. I heard you. Hell yeah.
These bags? This one I can't get to. That's pharmacy only.
Okay, let's try one more. For some reason, I said no food stamps. One more time. The thing might be missing.
Yeah. No. Just earlier today, it said like 150 something.
It showed the total. Sometimes, if
Yeah, it shows it right there.
Thing it might.
EBT.
Pharmacy,
Food stamps. Oh, you know why?
It's saying
It's because Can we ring up? That's my fault. I didn't even think ahead. It's the locks being have to do them separately.
Yeah, there we go.
Half asleep,
Yeah, no problem.
but half asleep and half asleep. One full awake person.
Yeah, it works. It works out. Here, I'm just gonna avoid this whole transaction.
So just do the water and no separately. And one thing I'll tell you where I'm from, where I grew up, somebody that's tired and not remembering stuff, it means they're working their friggin' butt off.
I'm
So,
happy running around this. So
that's good.
I'm pretty up there right now.
That means they like you. You're doing something right.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. There's the receipt. for
Gotta
that
put you
one.
to the test, you know?
Yeah, it's my first week.
All right.
Technically my second week now, so they testing the gun. Sure.
Well, I gotta say, in my opinion, you're doing pretty good.
Thanks, bro.
Absolutely. Well, I may not be your boss, but absolutely.
You get the call this one.
Then I'll be 40. Thank you.
What's your receipt?
Thank you. Thanks.
You get
All right. And you have a good night. I'll try.
again.
You know, as far as when I get home, I don't know how she's gonna be. That's always the fun part.
Yep, that is.
Have a good night.
What news they're in. Listen, hope you have a good night.
There we go. Thank you. Absolutely. Anybody else? No, we're good. Okay. All right. So much fun. So much fun. Why Hollywood? Am I from Hollywood? I grew up in Pennsylvania. I've been living here almost 2 years, and I love this state. I have to say, I love Hollywood specifically. I've been all over California, and I am in love with Hollywood. I don't know, there's something about it. Hollywood's like a small town, but it's technically not a small town. There's always something to do. Is that for Chicken Guy?
Yeah.
I want one. Dude, Flavor Town. We came up with Flavor Town before there was ever a Chicken Guy. Love it. Thanks. Have a good night. Fire. Chicken Guy. On his sign, the guy says Flavor Town. Well, I tell you, something we've been saying for years before they ever came out with the word Flavor Town was Flavor Town. And Flavor Town is the channel you would turn to when you wanted to watch food, when you were watching Food Network or something. They say, let's go to Flavor Town. And so going to Flavor Town pretty much meant you're going to dinner or you're watching something on TV that's about food, and so you go to Flavor Town. And now they got it for the Chicken Guy. It's actually called Flavor Town. So anyway, so I got a nice burger in the backpack. I got some creepy ass homeless guy that is finally leaving me alone. And I'm good. I'm doing good. Am I from Hollywood? Okay. Moving on. Moving all the way on. Oh my gosh. I need her, as they say, oh my gosh, I need to sit. I seriously need to sit. I'm slurring my words. I'm so tired. I can't even believe it. Guys, I went to a hot tub twice today. I'm not even kidding you. And some people be like, oh, you go in a hot tub, it's relaxing. It is relaxing, but it's also taxing. Believe it or not, getting in the hot tub, it's like energy intensive. Your body has to, it releases the tensions. So when you're in the hot tub, your body's doing a lot of work. And so when I sit in the hot tub, I can't do it for more than 10, 15, 20 minutes. I like to be in the hot tub for like an hour, but I can only sit in the hot tub for 15, 20 minutes before my body is telling me that I need to quit and get out. So I usually do. I'll only be in there 15, 20 minutes. And then when I'm getting out of the hot tub, I'm like falling over. I'm so tired. I can't even believe it. I could walk around I can walk around the Walk of Fame for hours and I'm just fine. But then I get in a hot tub, I can't do it for more than 20 minutes. It has nothing to do with the sex we're having in the hot tub. It's all because of the hot tub. So, Yo, somebody's up in my broadcast with like a super official photo. I don't know who it is, but I'm curious. They're like very official. Very official. I never in my life. Now, I'll tell you two factors. So I'm in a position where I have celebrities that are jealous of me. And it's so weird because I'll tell you two factors that run together on this topic, okay? Topic number one. Wait, I gotta wait till the weird's over. Until Jonas Brother number 3 runs off. I'm just teasing. You're attractive. That was a compliment. What do you... Oops. They did not like that. As I was saying, I felt so bad. Oh, I'm so done. Have fun. What was I saying? Yeah, like having celebrities jealous of me is so weird. Thank you for the hearts. It's so weird because, like, not only now, I want you to understand during the time frame where during the time frame, oh shit, during the time frame when the celebrities started getting jealous of me, and now, like, I was homeless. Like, I was literally, like, I'm unhoused right now, right? But during that time of jealousy, I was homeless. They were jealous of me while I was homeless. And I don't know, I'm just assuming they didn't know. Like, maybe somebody just lied to them and didn't tell them that I was living on the street. But, yeah, like, I was on the street when famous people were jealous of me. And we're not going to talk about the reasons why. But that was just so surreal. And then reason number 2 that I thought it was just like trippy and just not making any sense is like I wasn't famous. Not really yet. You know, like I was just kind of absolutely nobody, not just like a regular nobody. So I don't really understand it. I'm not doing any of that over either. And like I said, I'm working on thug status if I have to on that. Like I'm really just not in the mood to be playing with any of it. Oh God, that's nice. I got me a nice little roll too, so I'm not like being gross or nasty. Oh God, I'll tell you the blanket's a bit much, but it was tough to find a smaller blanket. I wasn't really able to find one that was like the right size. So, you know, somebody's always got to have an angle, because that's why. What's why? Hey there, how are you? I just, I don't know. How do I say this? I'm just disappointed that people always have to have some type of an angle, you know? Like, they cut themselves out of stuff, and they're like, well, that's how we stay safe. I'm like, not all the time, you know? Like, sometimes you gotta break code. Sometimes, oh God. Sometimes you gotta break code. You really do. No, I know you're saying that they were, you know, that's why they were jealous, but like, I'm not picking up what you're putting down, like what you're talking about. I'm not just trying to get you to say it. I'm not. Are you talking about, like, I seriously don't know what you're referring to. I really don't. Like, if I was someone who was like only half famous and was homeless, I don't think I'd be, or if I was a person who was like fully famous and rich and everything, I don't think I'd be famous. I don't think I would be jealous of someone who's half famous and homeless. I just don't think I'd be jealous of him. But if you think they were, for particular reasons that you understand, I'd be interested in being enlightened to those reasons. And I'm not picking on you. I really don't get why anybody would be jealous of the position that I used to be in. Like now, maybe. Because I actually, for the situation that I'm in, I'm doing pretty good managing, and at least staying clean and all that. And, you know, I'm taking my steps towards social sobriety, as they say. But beyond that, I don't really know what they might be, like, what do you think they were jealous of? Because I am curious to know what you may think that they were jealous of. Because I don't want to say until you say, you know? And by the way, this is not someone's home right here. This is a building that's like mostly shut down anyway, and there's never anyone in there. So don't worry about where I'm at. Like, I'm in a good spot. I'm in a nice, safe spot that I'm allowed to be in. I did not consider how I was going to open these. Hello. Yo, people need to stop being so paranoid. I think it's that I don't, like I'm not a homeless person. I think that's what freaks them out, you know? I really think that not being a homeless person freaks them out pretty bad. Like, why is there a non-homeless person living outside? You know? They're like, we don't do that. I'm like, right now we do. Maybe later we don't. So what? I just don't get a key? Is that what's up? It just doesn't come with a key. It has a keyhole. It has a keyhole, but it doesn't come with a key. Oh my gosh! Am I supposed to recognize you? You can rest and hang out if you'd like to. She's one of the sweetest people that I saw when I would go to the lines. I ain't going back. Ain't nobody, even a woman, attracted me in that direction. But I invited her. I did invite her to come hang out if she wanted to. But guess she don't want to. It's okay. Man, the things we have to ignore just to get our lives forward, huh? If one more person thinks about stealing from me, I'm gonna do things that God will never forgive me for. Bam. Okay. Firmly press. Circle down. What? Oh. What should we make it? Oh, we're gonna make. I have an idea. I know what we're gonna make it. So let's try. Let's try this. Now, come on. Really? Okay, come on. I don't understand what they said. I'm trying here. I want to eat my burger and I want to drink my water. That's where I'm at right now. I want my burger. I want my water. It says turn. Okay. That's front six. Firmly grasp it. Hold the shackle and turn 9 degrees from the number on the tackle circle. That's the body. Really press the whole shackle all the way down while turning the shackle 9 degrees counterclockwise further. Okay. Bam. And now, turn the dials to your own personal combination. They were jealous of my big cock. Thank you, V. Is that you think that's really what it is? I do have a pretty big cock. I do. I have to admit I do. Surprisingly. It grew recently. And I'm supposed to keep growing. Like, I'm not supposed to stop growing until I'm like 6'2", like 200 something pounds. I'm just like a really late bloomer. Really late. Like, really late. I haven't even gotten all my superpowers yet. Just kidding. And how many inches? I don't know. I was told 8. And then someone else was like, it's not 8. I'm like, I don't know. All I know is it works really good. So, I'm pretty good with it. Bam. Now work. Said work. It won't work. It won't lock. No matter what I do, it just won't. It stays unlocked no matter what I do. They're like, you think you're funny. I'm like, no, I don't think I'm funny. I know I'm hilarious. Ah, come on. What am I doing wrong? And there's no key to it either. What is wrong with this thing? Now, if I turn this back and it still closes. No, it won't even. Wait. Past. No. Yeah, now it just won't close at all. Okay, that's great. So what did I do? Yeah, people be coming around me sometimes and they'll be like, oh man, nice stuff. And I'm like, it is nice stuff, isn't it? You mister who's not already running to the other side of the street yet because you're not smart enough, apparently. Hey, thanks. Like, does me not sitting on the side of the road tell you enough? Oh my god, I cannot be this stupid. Come on. So now the code does work or it doesn't? I must not have said it right. Oh, did I get it? Well, it's doing something. Come on. Come on. It just won't, it won't work. I don't know why. All right, talk to me. I'm bored. I don't want to get frustrated. Let's try this number. Maybe that'll work. Go down. Okay, so I'm returning this because it doesn't even work. Please stay away from me. See, like, I come off as such a friendly person, so people are like, oh my gosh, I want to talk to him. And I'm like, I'm like sitting on the side of the road, like, not, like, I don't want to talk. No. If you're like a beautiful woman, I mean, maybe. Call me sexist if you have to, but unless you're like a drop dead gorgeous woman, I don't know why you're even trying to talk to me right now, because I'm really not in the mood, you know? Those hands are big too. They're pudgy. They're, you know, they work. I got pudgy hands. Yeah, try not giving. They always try that. They're always like, oh yeah, I'm just not gonna print the receipt. Print that receipt. You better print that receipt. This is why. Because half the stuff they sell you doesn't even work. Thick too. The hands are thick. They are. And they work. Alright, so this is getting returned. Absolutely getting returned. I can't believe that this does not work. I'm not even going to try the other one. Not even opening it. Straight returning it. And then like openly and loosely because I'm that good at it.
Like, you don't just, I'm sorry, but like, thank you for the beans. You don't just get away with talking about the game of society. You got that. Okay, I'm sorry, but you don't. Like, you really gotta have it that like that, or people just think you're. It's either you're marked as clinically insane or you're that smart. It's got to be one or the other. So for me, I'm smart enough I can get away with talking about the society's game. So like if I go around and I say that, and you think about challenging me, just it might cost you a couple years from your social data bank, and like that's not fun. And people are like, "Aren't you gonna be merciful?" I'm like, that is merciful. They tell me I'm supposed to smite you and take your life, and I'm like, I'm not about it. So, thanks for all the beans. It's pretty sick of you. Thank you. Yeah, you too. You're in my timeline now. Not you. So pretty much what I've done is I've found a lot of attractive women, and I've figured out how to stitch them into my timeline in society, like in my life in society, like in societal stuff. Yes. And then I see women that I'm like, I don't want to wait. Bless you. Timelines. Spank bank? No spank bank. I don't do spank banks. I'm a real life type of person. Yeah, no, when I say timeline, I mean like that I meet up with them later on. That I'll get to meet them, like and hang out later on with them and do stuff later on. But like not now, And then there are some that I'm like, now some. Just stop thinking about stealing from me. You're smarter than that. Just don't even think about it. It's not good for your health, okay? The doctor, right? An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, not thinking about stealing from STEM keeps the doctor away. No checkups, no appointments, no surgeries, no reconstructive operations. It's best for everyone. We don't steal from me. All right. And look at that. I got all this battery left. And then tomorrow I will return those. And then what else we got? We got this thing that I saved. This thing. I'll put this in my pocket. Definitely buying this tomorrow. Maybe. We'll see. I don't like the way he treated me. I didn't like his attitude. He was a criminal. I don't like criminals. They're like, we're going to have you begging for your life. I'm like, bruh, you're already begging for your life. That's why you're saying it to me. You're begging me for your life. And I'm like, I ain't even taking your life. What you so worried about? I'm over here protecting you. Take your life. Why would I take your life? I'm trying to keep away to people trying to take your life. My gosh. But I don't mean I want to be your friend. That's just what I do. People be like, oh my gosh, you saved my life. I'm like, no, fuck off. And they're like, oh, what? I'm like, yeah. I saved your life because I'm a social angel. It's what I do. It's what I'm built for in society. I didn't save your life because I wanted to, unless maybe you're like super attractive. And maybe I might have done it on purpose, but just don't guilt me for it, Do I have an OnlyFans? No, I don't. When do you get back here? Guys, I'm getting so desperate. I'm freaking talking out loud when I hear him saying it to me silently. My gosh. Hey, you want to call me crazy, I'm going to at least pretend to fit the bill. And then whenever you try to mark me for it, I'm just going to turn around and act normal. All of a sudden, you're going to be like, what the fuck? Just like that. And that's somewhere I haven't gotten to visit yet.
And if you tell me to watch my mouth again, whether it's out loud or not, I'm going to tear off the bottom half of your jaw with my left fist. All right. And that is not a warning or a threat or a promise. I am informing you of what I will instinctually do with my hands. My left hand, I will reach up and grab your face, and I will take half of it off. And I won't do it on purpose, I promise you. Oh. If it makes you feel any better, I won't do it on purpose. Oh. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, man. Okay. Okay. Oh. Oh, thanks for the beans. And people be telling me thanks for the honesty, but like, of course. Why would I lie to you? Why the heck would I lie to you? What good would that do me? Seriously. I'm not even kidding. Like, lying is very ineffective and very socially inefficient. Is that still blowing? No, it's off. They're off. Okay. Yes, I wanted them off. Ugh. They're like, yo, when I got someone who's like trying to get me out of here, I'll be like, honestly, could somebody be any more stupid? I'm serious. Like, I'm actually serious. Like, do you not realize trying to get me out of Hollywood would be like trying to push over a 100-year tree with your bare hands? It's not happening. Like, I don't think, and I can't even imagine what it's like to be such a lunatic that you actually think it's possible. Like, I don't think you understand that it's been destined by the powers that be and the gods above and below that I am to live in Hollywood for the rest of my life, that I am to reside in Hollywood for the remainder of my physical existence in this life. So to anyone who's trying to get me out of Hollywood, I promise trying to get me out of Hollywood is going to get you removed from Hollywood. You try to get me to move, you are going to end up moving. You will be chased out of town. I promise you. It's how the collective works. It's a hive mentality thing. I protect the public. I protect the people here. They know that I can protect them. And I am looked out for more than law enforcement in this area. And there is law enforcement that has lived here their entire lives. And I am protected more than the cops that have grown up here in this area. Because I was placed here by the powers that be. I'm not going anywhere. You're stuck with me. I'm scared of my own existence, so don't worry. You don't got to be scared of me. Because it freaks me out just to be living this life. And as crazy as it may sound, I'm telling the truth. And if it's hard to conceptualize, realize that I have been living here almost 2 years. And, it's I'm pretty sure that if it were possible, it would have happened already. You know? Thanks for the beans. Thanks for all the support and the glow sticks and stuff. And the hearts. Thank you. Oh, I forgot about my burger. I got my burger. I'm going to eat my burger. So today I rewarded myself because I cannot confirm nor deny that I saved the world a couple of days ago. Obviously, I'm just a crazy homeless person. So, we're just going to chalk it up to that. But I cannot say whether or not I did or did not save the world yesterday or a couple of days ago. Technically, it was within a 3-day time frame, but those 3 days were technically tied into one day when it comes to... So here's what happens. When you accomplish so much in a 3-day period that accounts for 3 years, well, you kind of have to scrunch the time frame for people's memory so that they could conceptualize the experience once that day is revealed to the public and those experiences are revealed to the public. So essentially, I did a whole bunch of stuff in the last 3 days that kind of saved a whole bunch of people. And I just did it because I was bored. There was nothing else to do and this stuff was going on. I'm just fine, and then I kept going. And I was just all right, can I get back to doing what I'm doing now? And I'm yeah, that's fine. So I did. It's right there. What's right where? What?
Oh, my burger's right here. Thanks for the reminder. I have you sitting up in my water. I'll have to put you somewhere else in about a minute. But so I took care of all that, and that was great. And now I can't go back there for a while because it's going to be a hot spot for a while, and I don't want to be up in there like that. But so I rewarded myself, and I bought myself a burger. And people be like, "Oh, you're mistreating your money." I'm like, no, I rewarded myself. I earned this burger, and so I'm going to enjoy it. The other meat, that right there, that right there. Yeah, I can't show that. Sorry, and I don't do OnlyFans. So, if you're really that interested, all you got to do is be a natural-born female, and you got to have the balls to take me home. And so, considering most natural-born females don't have balls, it's probably not going to happen. But you never know. No. And that's, you got to learn to say no. Stay the fuck away from me. How do people not know it's me? Like at this point, pretty much anybody in town has at least heard of me. You know, and we don't need to make an excuse as to how you've heard of me. We don't need all that. Okay, so like I've had CNN make offers. I've had NBC make offers. I've had KTLA make offers. I'm not kidding you. I've had local and national news stations make offers. They're like, "You're the guy that walks. That's you. Your step." I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." And they're like, wanting to do, like I had undercover NBC up on Walk of Fame wanting to do a private interview. And I'm like, I can't do it. I can't. It's just, it would reveal so much about street life and what's going on with people if I were to be put on blast right now on national television. Like I'm not prepared. I'm really not prepared. But it was pretty cool to get that offer. I had, like I said, all in one. I mean, within the last 3 days, I've had KTLA, CNN, NBC, I think that's it. And a couple like online report and the Hollywood Reporter. There were a couple of people from the Hollywood Reporter that were lurking around the past couple of days. People that I've recognized as people working at the Hollywood Reporter that don't know that I already have like their staffing and all that. Like I have to keep track of people, especially people that work in that line of work, to make sure that they're not keeping up with me, and if they are, that I know what they're doing. And that pretty much goes for any news station and places like that, is I have to know what they're doing and what's going on. Just in case they're coming my way, I need to know they're showing up before they do. The only ones I don't keep track of are the ones that don't expect you to. Like, I don't keep track of tabloids. I don't keep track of TMZ, and I know when I'm in a position that I need to lay low when the TMZ buses are empty. I kid you not. When the TMZ bus is empty, that is when it's time to take a break and take a nap. Because that means that something's going down and they're not looking they're trying not to have too much social attention on it. And it's pretty much only when the TMZ buses are empty that it's time to keep a low profile. So that's what I'm doing, is keeping a low profile. Oh man, that water is good. Thanks for beans. Okay. Look at that. I'm not supposed to eat this. I am going to have such an upside down stomach tomorrow. But I saved the world, and I promised I'd never do it again. I said I'd never do it again. I wasn't supposed to do it again, but I did it again. So, I'm punishing myself with the reward of a triple XL burger from Fat Burger that I'm really not supposed to have. So if you want to know, I'm really not supposed to tell you, but I'm really good at catching terrorists. And there was a guy last year that was with the cartel, and he was going to blow up the Santa Monica Pier. He took a bomb onto the Ferris wheel, and so I was able to catch him in time and got reported to the police. That was in 2023. And so I was going all around Santa Monica Boulevard and, down on the beach, trying to figure out where the fuck this guy was at, what his deal was. So I located him, I tracked him down. I'll say this, it's going to sound weird, but I sniffed him out, and I found him. And I'm not doing it again. I'm sorry, but I'm not. You guys can find this one. I know you got another one, but you can find this one. This one's on you. Because I'm not coming out to Santa Monica. I almost died in Santa Monica. I'm not doing it again. Like, literally almost died in Santa Monica. So, no. I'm sorry, but no. I can tell you the people out there, the covens, everybody that's got their shit going on out there, they don't got any mercy on me, even though I was fucking saving the goddamn world. Saving the public. They didn't give a shit. They still fucking made life hard for me. So, I'm not doing it. But what I will say is I'm still open. I'm not cutting you guys off from my life. I just, I'm as you can imagine, a little scared, So, on a more positive note, here in this area, not a positive note, but, a matter of diffusing the situation, is there was someone at the Capital One Cafe who was, they weren't gonna do it in the Capital One Cafe, but somewhere between somewhere between Highland and La Brea, they were gonna set something off, if you know what I'm saying. You hear that beeping, you know what I'm talking about, right? And so I looked into it, and I found out I had tracked down who it was, and diffused the situation before law enforcement even had to get to it, or even before the fire department. So, like, the last day today that I was in there was an investigator from the fire department had come into the Capital One Cafe. Oh, I'm just getting a coffee. No, he knew I was tracking this guy, and he wanted the info. And I told him, I'm like, look, I don't know who it is. I don't know where they're at. I don't really have anything else I could tell you except, I know who's been sitting up here, and that's it. And so at the end of it all, whenever I walked out the building, I pieced it together, and I found out who it was. And so they were able to, keep that person from even getting to the point of setting off their device. They very quietly diffused the situation and got that person into custody. So. But apparently, for whatever reason, whoever it was or whatever had happened, they didn't want it being publicized. So that's that, and that's over. But I don't think it's 8 inches. I don't think it's all that big. I've had people tell me it's big, but truthfully, I think they're just saying that to be nice to me. That's what I think. By the way, if you guys think this is a punishment, this is weak sauce and you're a bunch of pussies. Plus, I'm able to endure it so easily because you guys aren't even supposed to be punishing me right now. I recently found out most of you are out of order, and you're so out of order that I can get away with saying that you're out of order. Like literally. We're fucked. Okay? Like all of us are fucked. So just keep doing what you're doing. But stop trying to take it out on me because I will smite you. I don't care. Like I have shit to do, okay? Thanks for understanding. Don't interrupt me again. You can help with measurements. Are you in California? If you're in the Hollywood area, I might be interested. By the way, y'all gotta get me fucking. If you want to do it, you gotta do it before the whole fame thing sets in. Because like, once I'm like discovered the rest of the way, I can't just go fuck anybody I want and like put a baby in them. I can't just get away with that, you know. But for now, I pretty much could. On the East Coast, oh well. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna go to DC, but they were planning on setting me up to make it look like I was a bomber. So I was like, guys, thanks for the offer to keep me safe in prison for the rest of my life, but like I'm fine. Okay, like I'm good. But now they want me to catch the guy that's creating a bomb that they're gonna blow it, that he's gonna blow it up. Guys, I got the chip. The chip works. Go ahead and no matter how many times you ask me to shut up about that, oh, it's top secret. Oh, it's secret. Oh, it's classified. Then fucking put it in front of me. If you don't put in plain words in front of me that something is top secret, then it ain't top secret to me. I don't care. No offense, but if I know about it, it ain't all that. It can't be that much of a secret if a random unhoused individual knows about your dealings, right? I didn't grab the information illegally, so if I'm able to piece it together, it ain't that big of a secret. Hello, how are you? Ah, sweet, cool. Yeah, so they're like, you can either help us catch the bomber in DC, or we're going to set it up to make it look like you did it. I'm like, you stupid ass motherfuckers. Like, I am not the guy to play this game with. I'm really, like, you think you're sleazy? I will show you what it's like to be lathered in butter and uncatchable. If we have to play that way, I will lather my body in butter and make a joke of it at the same time. Can you see the tip? What? Of the Russian nuclear bomb or of my fucking fat burger? Because I ain't showing you my cock on live camera. It's never going to happen. It's 300 people watching. I am not showing you my penis. Sorry to tell you. Plus, there's kids around. So, I shouldn't be talking like this. You know what I miss? I miss the good old days when famous people would lure homeless people to their homes just to murder them in sacrifice instead of actually have sex with them. But nowadays, people are so disgusting, they actually lure homeless people to their homes and have sex with them and then send them on their way. Like in the good old days, the famous people would lure the homeless people into their homes and then murder them and sacrifice to their gods and for fame and God and gold and glory. But now they actually fuck them. How gross is that? I think it's disgusting. Like, disease. But whatever. I guess I'm the judgmental one somehow. Guys, this is just payback for being a dick today. I was in the middle of an investigation and you drop a fucking cigarette on my backpack? Fuck you. See, the risky part of solving crime when you're not a cop is that if you don't do it successfully, it's a crime. Like a capital offense. Like, it's bad. It's so bad. Like, if you do what I do, be careful. Be really careful. Because some people have like a narcissistic complex and they like want to save the world. No, I'm sorry. Get some mental help. Okay? Like, if you want to save the world, don't be a narcissistic psychopath. Because if your doctor tells you you're a narcissistic psychopath, you probably are one. You should probably get some help. But if you're like me and you have the proper training and people actually just keep dropping you into those situations expecting you to help them, and you can afford to help them, it doesn't cost you anything, it saves the city millions of dollars, and it saves a whole bunch of lives, oh, fuck else am I doing today, you know? Plus, it gives a whole bunch of people material for making their movies and making their videos and stuff like that, you know? So, that's an easy way to stay busy. Shut up and walk. They're like, there's two of us. And I'm like, there might as well be half of one of you. God, do I feel bad? No, I don't. No, I don't anymore. I really don't. I just can't afford to feel bad. You know what feels, you know what feels better than feeling bad? Having a car. Having a life. Having the money to buy food. Excuse me. Camaraderie's nice until people leave you to die. And then, you know, whatever. And then sometimes I'll get people or reporters that'll want to talk to me about the stuff that I do. And they just think they're going to like play on my vanity, right? Because I am pretty vain. But I'm not gonna talk to you about something that's governmentally classified. I'm not going to talk to you about something that's top secret just because I might get some attention about it. Like, I get insulted when people think I'm a sellout. Like, I'm not a scumbag, I'm a contractor. There's a difference, right? And I'm not even a paid contractor at that. I'm like building my resume. I'm just doing shit for free to get noticed by the proper authorities to get paid to be, you know, to possibly move in the direction of employment. But what I'm finding out, I'm so good at what I do that I can't even get hired. Like, I'm overqualified to be an independent contractor in like the area of private security, not in the physical sense, but in the psychological sense and in the due process of civilian society in first world countries. I am so highly efficient that like I put people out of business, and so it's pretty dangerous for me, to tell you the truth. But that's cool. That sounds like a good idea to me. Oh, that was hilarious. It's just like that moment between someone looking at my face and be like, "Oh my gosh, he's so cute," and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, I think he's homeless." So like, I'm obviously not homeless, but that look they had, not you, that look that like a regular person has, you know. Yeah, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. Thanks though. The one in the middle. 150 grand a month. Too rich. They'll kill me in my sleep. I'm not homeless. Holy shit. I'm gonna have a fit. The losers won't quit. This is just a bit. Okay, so I've had like 5 bites of this burger, and I'm not even close to done with it. And I'm already full. I kid you not, I think I've had 5 bites. I can't eat any more of this burger. So, in case you didn't guess, I can show you the receipt and you'll have a heart attack. $55. One meal. $55. I don't do that often. But what I was gonna do, I was gonna treat a beautiful woman to a meal with me. And she decided to skimp out and be cheap. And so I bought myself a meal instead of her and dine. And I could say that because there was definitely at least 25 to 30 different women I met today that I could have taken to dinner. So it's not like I'm trash talking anybody or all of them or anything like that. I'm just saying, I could have taken somebody out to dinner today. Or even to lunch. But instead, I just bought myself a nice burger. I cried because it was a very difficult experience to, catch that guy. Catching that guy was not fun. So something a lot of people don't understand about proper
proper etiquette in the industry is you can't be embarrassed to show your emotions and experience your emotions is a healthy part of the process. If you don't experience your emotions from job to job, especially processing the trauma, you are going to end up becoming a sociopath. It's total human nature. So this guy that was setting up a bomb, we caught him, and it's done. But what I can tell you is that I cried like a baby for almost 5 minutes. I did. I was like, I couldn't believe it happened. I was so scared. Freaked me out, and I just like I still haven't processed that it happened. I still haven't processed it. And when I say we caught him, I'm not gonna lie to you. I caught him. Law enforcement was like 3.5 weeks behind, and the guy would have set off the bomb if I didn't catch him. So I decided to catch him against my better. I don't say against my better judgment. I was told to leave it alone. They're like, "This is none of your business." I'm like, "The guy's gonna blow up the fucking building." So they're like, "Do you want to? Do you want it to be your fault if something goes wrong?" And I'm like, I just hung up the phone and I took care of it. And so, like I said, when you do it right, they appreciate you. When you don't do it right, they usually put you in prison or they put you on the news. And so I did it right, and I don't want to be on the news. I don't want anybody talking about it. Just leave it between us. And, I wanted to say something about it for the record, just so it doesn't get thrown over on me, just in case. I put my word out there first, and you guys have got it on recording of what actually happened. But then I took a good cry to myself. I did. And then I ate $55 worth of fat burger, or at least, $20-something. I still got the burger. I think this was like a $25 burger. I had like 5 bites and it filled me up. And so I put it in my backpack. I'll eat the rest tomorrow. But I normally eat really healthy. That's what I was saying is I normally eat, I'll have organic food, or I'll just I'll eat. You guys I know you're grossed out when I say about raw meat, but I usually eat raw meat, raw vegetables, raw, I eat like a raw diet. So, what happens is when you eat raw food, okay, so when you cook food, what you're doing is utilizing alternative energy sources to burn energy off of the food you're about to eat, right? If you don't need that much energy, or your body is going to have to work harder to process that food. So what I do is I eat raw food, and when I eat raw food, my body processes that food more slowly and forces my body, my body forces itself to have to digest all of what I'm eating and not just some of it. And so my diet is much more healthy for me. And that's what I prefer. But like I said, I can also swap over and I'll have a fat burger, and I'll still go to the bathroom the right way because I have an iron stomach. I have a really healthy gut, and my gut can pretty much handle anything no matter what I eat. Excuse me. Might lead to a little more gas than normal when I have a fat burger or have a Wahlburger or something like that. And the Wahlburger, the Wahlburgers was long overdue. Okay, I haven't had any Wahlburgers, and so the Wahlburgers was long overdue. And I had me a Wahlburger sandwich, and I have to say I was underimpressed. I know you want me to lie for you, but the fact of the matter is I'm totally BSing you. It was fantastic. The burn. Excuse me. One thing I'll tell you is something us Nords are able to do better than our Irish counterparts. Our Irish counterparts is that we are much better at joking and dry humor. No offense, but for every joke you got, I got something I could say that you think I'm serious about, and you won't even know I'm joking unless I tell you, even if you're Irish. So, to all my Irish counterparts out there, shout out to Mark Wahlberg, Mark, however you want to say his name. I finally ate your burger, And it was pretty good. It was. Thank you. But I'll tell you, man, I'm not gonna lie. I need to fuck. I really do. Like, really bad. Like, really bad. Like, I need to fuck more than I need a roof over my head. I shit you not. You know that you've reached the point where you need to have sex more than you need somewhere to live when your mind is, when you're thinking more about sex than actually whether or not you spend the night with the person. And I am to that point where I am thinking more about sex than I am about somewhere to live. Now remember, I didn't have sex till I was 25. So I got a fuck ton of discipline. I got a lot of discipline. I could sit here with a rock hard dick and not touch it the whole night, and you could have models walking by. You could have a model putting her hand on my dick, rock hard, and I won't. If I don't want to come, I ain't coming. It's not happening. If I want to, I will. But, you know, I'm to the point where I recognize that I'm not just looking to fuck somebody for one night. I will. But, you know, I'm realizing that most women out there, even the ones that say that they're just looking to fuck for the night, I'm sorry, but please stop bullshitting me. Because as soon as I start mentioning the possibility of a relationship or things of that nature, all of a sudden you're interested in something more than one night. So I'm just not buying it. I'm not, you know. So am I in the hookup culture? I'm in the hookup culture. Am I active? I'm active. Do I get tested? I get tested. But the reality is, I don't want to lead somebody on. You know, especially considering whether we like it or not, something I can say that is a consistent trend with women, at least natural born women, is that when you are interested in a man, from what I gather, should you have the choice between a one-night stand in a long-term relationship, the experience I have thus far is that you are interested in a long-term relationship. That's what I've seen. That's what I've experienced. Whether I'm wrong or right, I don't know. But that's all I got. That's all I got to tell you. So, and anytime I think about hooking up with someone who actually wants a long-term relationship, the only thing it reminds me of is people from prison. And I can't even live with the thought of it. I honestly can't. Dog smells my burger. There's a dog passing by, smells my burger. That was so cute. The dog looked at me like, can I have one too? I'm sorry, but I only got one. And I wouldn't even share it with a girlfriend. Okay, that's a lie. I would totally. That's the other thing. I'm a sucker. I am an absolute. I would, like, if I had a girlfriend, I'd give her pretty much anything she wanted. Now, I have learned when it comes to stuff I get from the government, anything I get paid, I don't share any of that. I'm sorry. It don't matter. That's part of why my first wife, the wife I have, she don't want me anywhere near her because she's so angry. I'm not talking about anybody that's involved with the law with me. We're not even go there. All right. Not in the state of California. Just a wife that I have that I don't have anything legal with. How do I say this? She's so mad because she knows that, like, the government literally owes me billions, not just the U.S. government, but, like, governmentally, like, throughout the world. Like, on an international basis, I am owed billions of dollars. Okay? We're going to leave it there. With that said, me being owed billions of dollars internationally, that's going to take a good decade, 2 decades, 3 decades to catch up with me. I might be dead before I see all my money. But I am owed so much money, it is insane. And I am learning how to gain the proper resources and connections to enforce
what's necessary in order for me to get my money legally, right? But being that it is government, by technicality, it's like government money, I refuse to share it with any spouse or partner. And so at that point, she was kind of just like, nah, I'm good. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, then I guess this is where you and I take some space. And she's like, yeah. She's like, you're supposed to be a billionaire, and you not only didn't tell me, but you're telling me that you won't give me a dime of it. I'm like, yeah. She's like, all right, there's the door. I'm like, okay, see you later. Now I'm here. And then they're like, don't look. And I'm like, sorry, but I'm looking. You made me curious like that. I'm looking. Yeah, if I could just find me a nice, down-to-earth, traditional, intelligent redhead, that would be fantastic. And I just want to give a shout-out to anybody in the broadcast who's normally super annoying that's choosing not to be. I'm just very thankful for your silence. No, USA, we still have a government. I'm not really sure. Okay, so some people like exist mentally in this alternate, psychologically adapted reality. So okay, so like, let me help you understand this. So, like, when MK Ultra actually happened, okay, like the real MK Ultra. So there was Project MK Ultra, and I hate talking about this because it makes you sound like an absolute nut. There was Project MK Ultra. Do research; it's in the documents. No, you got to move beyond the writing, okay? Beyond the logistics. Use your whole brain. Use your emotions, okay? It's still America. No sweat. Okay. So here's the deal. Between Project MK Ultra and and Operation Phoenix, it's called Operation, or is it Project Phoenix? Project Phoenix. Project Phoenix was a torture program down in Vietnam. And then MK Ultra was actually something that they did here in America. Actually, I think it was in NorCal. But essentially, what happened was our government came up with a lot of ways to psychologically manipulate the public and keep them under their control. Nowadays, most people, now this is like 20, 30, 40 years ago, people are starting to become more keen on these practices and behaviors. And, they're not really interested. So, for me, I mean, I'm trained in that. I understand most of that. I wasn't taught that or told about that in a way where, like, I was never weaponized as an individual. Okay, so, like, I'm not a weapon for the government or anything like that. I'm someone who has been given information. So there's information, there's knowledge, and there's wisdom. I was given information. I was not given knowledge or wisdom because I would be considered a danger to the public without training at that point in time. So it was not until I gained the proper training that I then became self-educated to the point of having the knowledge, and then from the knowledge, the experience, and with the experience and the knowledge comes wisdom. And so I have wisdom in the realm of psychology, and not just, obviously basic psychology, but understanding the realms of the mind and how people think and operate in different societal cultures and sociocultural norms and memes and things of that nature. But, most people think themselves very intelligent, not realizing most people are not conscious thinking human beings. Most people are actually like instinctual animals that behave based on a type set of behaviors that they're already, like a type set of actions that they're already familiar with or used to committing to. Whereas like me personally, like I've done my own research and grown as a human animal, you might say, where I make conscious, active, intentional decisions. So I know how to go into what I call dormancy mode, and most people do live. I think was it Richard Dawkins? I don't want to misquote, but there was someone that said most people live lives of quiet desperation, right? Well, that quiet desperation is what I compare to people living in that what I call dormancy mode, or like that mental sleep mode, or like just not being active in their environment, and very few people are actually active in their day-to-day behaviors in their environment. So, it's like all this stuff is coming to pass. People are starting to understand how to use this stuff for themselves, and it's dangerous. Like we've had so many governmental leaks. Hello, how are you? We've had so many informational leaks done, and it's so scary, to tell you the truth, because you got all these people running around town, running around the country, running sometimes around the world, and they're so smart, and they understand all these different forms of social manipulation, and then at the same time they're like mentally dormant, so you have them doing stuff that's really unhealthy for everyone, and not understanding, recognizing, or able to really calculate or measure out the consequences, right? So like most people don't even know how to be conscious, or like I said hello, how are you? They don't know how to like wake themselves up out of like a mental stupor. Or like me personally, like when it might seem like I'm in a mental stupor, oftentimes it's just me like allowing for the appearance of being in a mental stupor, or like allowing myself into that mental dormancy mode just to have the chance to rest, and that's what I do is like I'll allow myself to be in what I call mental dormancy mode, where I am not necessarily mentally active at the moment, and I'm just allowing my instincts to drive my decisions and my behavior. And I am in full control on the inside should I need to change my behavior. And some people say, well, we need you to. I'm like, no, you don't. You can't afford it right now. You can't afford me being, mentally active right now. I'll take over your entire situation. You would much rather me be dormant right now. Because people ask me that, people will be like, well, we don't want you to take over the whole project. I'm like, okay, so I take a freaking social nap, and then they're like, hey, stay awake, pay attention. I'm like, bro, you gotta pick one. I'm such a powerful human being that I will take over your entire project if I stay awake. And that, like, it's not on purpose. It's practically gravity. The influence that I have, I will take over what you're doing on accident. And so being in a mentally dormant state is my only option. And that's why sometimes when people attempt to take advantage, I have to turn around and, I have to take over. Because it's either I take over or they try to take advantage of me, and I won't allow them to take advantage of me. So, some people be like, oh, you're taking from this person that. No, I'm not. It's not like that. It's a matter of they're in my path. I might as well be Pac-Man and them the ghost. What they have is supposed to belong to me, and the only way for me to take it back is if they give it to me or if I take it. And if they refuse to give it to me, then I have to take it. And those are sometimes the only two options you have. And literally, and some people be like, well, you could walk away. Walk away to where? The same situation is going to happen with another person. What's mine belongs to me, and I have to get it, one way or the other. And it's either I get it from this person first or the other person first. Either way, they're both going to give it to me. It's just a matter of where I'm getting it from first. Hello, how are you? Thanks for the 3,000. Or 250 to the broadcast. I gotta lay down a little bit. Oh man. And some people be like, why isn't he being arrested? Why this, why that? Because I'm not a criminal. Like, I don't, like, how many times do I have to say it? Like, criminals go to jail. I don't, because I'm not a criminal. It's pretty easy. It's not that hard to understand. People that want to go to jail want to go to prison are the people that go to prison. If you don't want to go to jail, you don't want to go to prison, then you don't go. It really is that simple. Yes. Bullshit me. I ain't stupid. I know the game. Pretend like you're scared. You're good. I kept you out of a cage today. You're welcome. Her boyfriend would have gone to prison. I'm a good man. Such a good guy. What am I looking for? Oh my gosh. Well, first off, a woman. Preferably a natural born woman. One that has the ability to conceive. You know, that's my first preference. I don't know what it is about making babies, but I love making babies, man. I don't know why. I love making babies. I do love making babies. What about you? What's your preference? Because that's my preference. I'm looking for a woman that wants my baby, first and foremost. And I'll tell you what, it could even be a lesbian couple if they want. I want to put babies out into the world. It's not really even totally about sex. It's just I want to put babies out into the world because I am a very smart and capable individual. I have Olympic genes. I'm very healthy. And I want to bless the world with my children. I am a gift to the world, and I know I'm a gift to the world. And so if you're someone that wants a family and you want a good, healthy family, I have very, very, very healthy genes, and I don't have any issues passing my genes on to you. Natural born, what do you mean? Natural born woman, not just gender orientation, but physically. So essentially, someone who identifies as a woman, who was born with female parts, who has the ability to conceive a child. So in long form. You always want a good man. Well, that's cool. That's good. Good men are hard to come by. I have to tell you. And when I say hard to come by, I mean almost impossible. We pretty much do not exist. What I can tell you is if you don't know how to keep a secret, don't expect to be with a good man. If you're talkative, if you're a snitch, if you're a sellout to the government, don't expect to find a good man. If you're deceptive, don't expect to find a good man. If you're deceptive with your man or to your man, don't expect to find a good man. Like my smile. Well, thank you. Now, if you are good to your man or good to men and you stay honest with men, like I tell you, I've never met a man in my life, a good one or a bad one, that ever had an interest in being with a woman that lied to him. Never. So one thing that I will tell you, men love, and when I say love, I mean men love when you tell them the truth. You give them, when you stay honest with them and you give them your truth. That is something that men absolutely, every last man you ever meet, every man loves a woman who tells the truth and stays honest with them. So you give them your truth, you stay honest with a man, and he will probably stick by your side for the rest of your life. And if he doesn't, he's probably a psychopath. No, my name's not Nick. He says women lie more. Oh, I don't need a sex war in here. Come on. Fun day. It's been a very fun day. A very loyal person. Well, that's good. Loyalty's always good. Thought it was you. Yeah, no, it's not me. I don't know. I can't say women lie more. I really can't. I mean, it depends on what type of person. Thanks for the follow. I honestly, I think women women's lies are more complex, if that makes any sense. Women's lies are more complex from my experience. So
There's like layers to their. Oh my gosh, I smell drugs, and it's so disgusting. Ugh. Oh my god, I could literally puke. Somebody's smoking hash somewhere. It smells disgusting. What do you call it? Yeah, is I feel like from my experience, women lie more deeply, and men lie on the surface. Like a man would be like, "No, I didn't flirt with that girl," and a woman would be like, "No, I've never seen that person before in my life." Do you know where I'm going with that? Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, that's what I've experienced. I should have followed. Well, the truth is, well, thank you. Says I'm cute with a great smile. Thank you. What happened to my nose? I need to get it fixed. We'll just leave it at that. I need to go to a plastic surgeon of some type, and I will get my nose fixed. Yeah, most men are money hungry. I will agree with that. People always talk about gold diggers. Nowadays, it's mostly the men that want the money, and the women are just like they either have the money or they want your money. But men are pretty money grubby nowadays. No, I didn't get punched. In case you don't know, I really don't do violence, like at all. Yeah, they don't fuck with me until I'm like, no, you're stuck with me. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, that's safe. I like that. I'm like, yeah, I got you. And they're like, and I'll tell you something. If you ever want to win a woman over, okay? If you ever want to win a woman over completely, if they totally come at you and they're like, I don't like you, just be like, well, I'll tell you what, your hair looks amazing. Sorry to bother you. Have a good day. You'll win them right over. Nowhere to lie. They might bitch, they might complain, they might say they hate you. They'll walk away. And the only thing that's going to be on their mind will be, my hair doesn't look that good. No, it doesn't. My hair is not that pretty. Sammy, is my hair that pretty? And she'll be like, yes, your hair is totally that pretty. And Sammy's going to be like, oh my God, I'm totally wet for that guy. And then the other girl's going to be like, I smell that. She's gonna be like, no, I like him. He didn't say that to you. He said he likes my hair. You know, it goes from there. But anyway, it's true. Tell me, I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. I have to admit to you, I am admittedly a master of deception and manipulation, and I choose not to. I don't. I really don't manipulate people. I don't. The smartest manipulators and the smartest people that you're ever going to meet are the ones who choose to perfect their craft. And part of perfecting your craft means recognizing the time and the place to use your skills. There is a time and a place to use your skills, and there is a time and a place to hide your skills. And it's all about timing, in my opinion. Timing is so it's like making a woman ejaculate, right? Like with a guy, you don't really need timing. All you need is a couple of pumps and boom, you got a milkshake, right? But when it comes to a guy, when it comes to a woman, it takes time and you have to pay attention, and it takes a lot of work. Unless you know how to do it. Like me personally, I know how to do it, so it's very easy. But when it comes to guys, it's not really a lot of work. 60% chance. Yeah, but that's the thing is I don't have type 1 bipolar or narcissism. I was never diagnosed. That's okay. You're fired. Don't worry about it. Now you can take care of your illness. You're welcome. What do you call it? As far as the bipolar, that doctor got fired a long time ago, We already got that sorted out, but thank you. And as far as narcissism, I've never been diagnosed with narcissism. And anyone that may have diagnosed me with narcissism is already either fired or has a terribly, just their personal life has probably gone into the gutter at this point, if not their professional life. So, yeah, you don't diagnose me with something I don't have and get away with it. You just don't. Give me 1 second. I just got to get rid of the dead girl. Jog for your life. Or don't. I don't want your cock. Keep going. I just solved the murder. Get running. I didn't even mean to. Sorry about that. We all wanted to know who killed her anyway. Now we do. Yeah, sorry guys. It won't let me. Oh, I can mute you. They're like, haha, you can't block me. I'm like, but you know what I can do? I can actually block you that way. And so now you are blocked. You're kicked and blocked. They're like, that's not fair. I cheated. They're like, that's not fair. I hacked the broadcast and I came in. Well, guess what? Now you're blocked and you ain't coming back. I have a special button designated for people that do that shit. It's like the ultimate override block button that you're not allowed to have. So when people try to hack into my broadcast, I can get rid of them. Because they used to do that on Twitter. Oh my gosh, if you guys remember Periscope, they used to do that all the time. They'd come into the broadcast and they would cheat their way into the broadcast and then they would try to steal the attention and all that. And then you couldn't block them. Well, on this platform, if you're someone that gets harassed like that, they give you a special button when you request it. And that special button is an override button, and it makes sure that no matter what the account is, you can still block them. And so I just blocked someone who came in with an account that normally you can't block. So it depends on the culture of women. Absolutely. Who was that? That was just a terrorist. I got rid of them really easily. It didn't take much. I actually I technically in the past 5 minutes got rid of 3 different terrorists, but we're not going to talk about that. Social inception. Woo. We are young, so we'll set the world on. Hey, I just want to ask how you're doing. That's all I want. I just want to know how you're doing. How are you doing? Because I see you're kind of preoccupied paying attention to something that ain't none of your business. So I just want to know how you're doing. Nobody fuck with Chow. That's the code word. Don't fuck with Chow is the code word. Code phrase. Come on. It's been a while, okay? Don't fuck with Chow. Oh man, I love this country. Guys, do you have any idea how sharp my teeth have gotten in the past couple of years? You wouldn't even believe it. If you're a woman in town, come visit. Wash your hands first and then put your hands in my mouth. Come feel it. I literally have like razor sharp teeth. I can tear apart a steak by going like this. Just like once or twice. And I could tear through a raw steak. I have incredibly sharp teeth. It's so cool. Love it. Absolutely love it. Oh my gosh. Why are you crying again? My God. I just miss him so much. Oh my God, I just miss him. I miss him so. Oh my God, I miss him so much. I miss him so much. I just can't even. Like, oh my God. Like, that sucks. I get it. Me too. But, like, life goes on, you know? Like, I know it's only been a couple hours, but like, life goes on. Where's the helicopter? I want to go, hey. I want to do a Roger wave. Hey. Welcome to the broadcast. Oh, they were making fun of him the whole time. That's really not good. That's like really, really not good. I am not getting in the middle of that. I'm so glad I knew nothing about it. So apparently Roger the alien from American Dad is making fun of Will Rogers from Oklahoma. Can we just have that thing happen where I didn't know anything about any of that? Because I didn't. And I just figured it out right now. So like, I promise to never again watch American Dad. I never really liked American Dad to begin with, so no offense, not really my show. Not really into it. Family Guy, raunchy, terrible, totally politically incorrect, not appropriate for the public or for children. And, well, it's still one of the longest running shows on public access television, so I'd have to say that I am not done with Family Guy. But I am done with pretty much everything else that I should be done with at this point in my, liberal lifestyle. Now that I'm a Californian and proper and fancy and, I mean, I gotta roll out. Like, come on. Like, I gotta roll out. You gotta pull out, I gotta roll out. I'm doing good, okay? I'm doing great out here. I really am doing pretty good. Bro, like, I went to the counter, I went to the checkout, and the guy tried scamming me and being like, oh, I'm sorry, like, it said, like, you don't have money on your card. I'm like, dude, it says on screen I have, like, hundreds of dollars. Like, it literally says it right there that I have, like, all this money. And he's like, oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. So, like, I worked that out. So, like, I don't want him to get fired because he's working really, really hard. But, like, I just don't want him to do it again, you know? Because, like, you don't, like, you get caught doing that, and whoo, bad day for everyone, you know? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I got nothing. I'm sorry. I can't. I don't know, officer. I don't know where they're at. I didn't see anything. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know what you're referring to. Honestly, I really don't. What are we looking at? Oh God, those car lights. The headlamps are so bright. They're so bright. My goodness, are they bright? It prevents me from being able to see anything. Oh, God. Ellie says, if the D good, you're gonna have to block me from me to leave you want. No, you're good, D. I'm not gonna lie to you. I must have one of the best in town because I can't figure out why people are so obsessed with me. And God's honest truth, I really don't know why. I mean, it may be that I'm like Hollywood's mascot. Like, I've literally become excuse me. Yeah, so I don't know why most people in town are like obsessed with me, but what's really cool is that I have become essentially like Hollywood's mascot, and it's kind of cool. Like, being related to Leif Erikson gets me a lot of pull, and then walking around the way around, and a lot of people that live here are like of Welsh descent. Like, there's a good amount of people here who have Welsh descent, and so like one of my great grandfathers, he settled the country of Wales. Like he actually started the country. Not started the country, but like populated the land. So like having a lot of babies is just like in the cards. Like my mom, I think my mom came from a family of 11. I think my biological mom had like 11 brothers and sisters or something like that. Like 9 or 10 or 11. And then, where is it going with that? So I mean, me, like, I'm not planning on being with the same person and having all those kids, but like, if there's like, it's a very open community here in Hollywood. So, like, if there's women here in the Hollywood area that want children and you want like good, healthy kids, and you're not expecting me to like be in their lives, or you don't want me to be in their lives or something, like, I really don't have any issues just like putting my kids out there. I'm not even kidding you. Like, I'm not doing anything else with my life. I do have a wife in another state that doesn't mind me. Like, she's living her own life and living her best life, and I'm living my own independent life. But we're technically still married. And if you live in town here in Hollywood and you want a good, healthy kid and you weren't expecting anything from me, then I would give you a kid. I'd be happy to give you a kid. We don't even gotta have sex. I want to be able to put my kids out there and have children exist in this world that belong, like, come from my lineage and my background, And if you are a good, healthy, I would say, where's the catch? The catch isn't, what's up? How are you? Thanks for all the hearts. My catch isn't having sex with me. You don't have to have sex with me. Having sex with me, from what I hear, is really, really good. And hopefully, it would be good to have sex with you. But the fact of the matter is, you ain't got to have sex with me to have a kid with me. There are forms of artificial insemination where, you collect it and then you deliver it. And I am totally comfortable with that if that's something you would want to do. But I could tell you, even if there was 50 or 100 women in town that lined up and said, all right, I want a kid with you. Boom. Done. I'd do it. Like right now, I literally would do it. And I wouldn't charge you a dime. I wouldn't ask for anything in return. The only expectations I have are that you are a clean, non-drug using, non-alcohol abusing, someone that doesn't have a mental health history or family with mental health history. Like, you got to have a good, clean history. Like, I have a good, clean history. Okay, so like, people say but I can prove that it's all made up and that it's just a bunch of scum shit. But like, me personally, like I said, as long as you got a good, healthy situation going on, then I'd be more than willing to. Yeah, you kind of just committed suicide, but you have fun with that. Oh, that's really sad. You ever just like hear someone shoot themselves, and then like you can, like, you're experiencing, like, they're in the after, but you have the ability to like tune into their energy experience post death. It really sucks. Someone's gonna pop your tires tonight. I hope you have AAA. You guys just know who's these pretty big. Well, thank you. I don't know how you. What do you mean you know? What do you mean you know? It ain't on the internet, and I never sent it to nobody. Word of mouth, maybe, but unless someone took a picture without me knowing while we were like in person with one another, then I don't know how you would know. Have we been together? Who are you? Photo makes you look like a man. Definitely a man. I'll tell you what, guys, they sell knives at a lot of these stores, and I am so glad I haven't bought one yet, because some of these people be pissing me off so bad. Oh my god, dude. You have no idea. Like, I'd be such a criminal. It is so good that I am not a criminal because I'd be a good one. I'd be way too good at it. And I am telling you the truth when I say I'm not a criminal. I'm not. But I'd be a professional. I swear to God, I'd never get caught till the day I died if I ever chose to be a criminal. But I fucking hate criminality. I told you, we just caught that guy today. It's not even my job, but it was just, he was pissing me off. He's getting in my way. I'm trying to mind my own business and do my own thing. So I didn't call the cops on him, but I pretty much just threw him to the wolves. And then he went crying to the cops so that he'd rather be arrested than, get murdered on the street. That ain't happening to me. Me personally, I would rather get murdered on the street than have to run to the cops. And I swear to God, I would do the same. I beg for my life. I'm not going to lie to you. I'd probably beg for my life if I ever lost a fight. It's in that type of situation. But I would sooner die than ever run to incarceration. I never did that in my life. And even for the people that think I have, or who think that I was given the signal for them to do that, no, I wasn't, and I didn't want them to. This is outside of the state, like in Pennsylvania. Like when I got this back in 2023 or 20, maybe, I don't remember when the frick I got. But anyway, when I first dealt with that situation, I was with somebody who might have been a criminal or something or whatever, and I guess they thought I was like a danger or something, and then I was going off the grid, and so they decided to be overprotective. And I was just like, look, like, I'm good, okay? Like, I really don't want or need the help. And here, I'll tell you, here in California, they're respecting my wishes, and they recognize that I don't want or need the help, so they're not even offering it, They're like, and I love that. Like, I say, hey, I need space, and boom, immediately I get space. They're fantastic with that. I'm so thankful. Because, like, back where I grew up, they're just so smothering, It's like they think they know me and they don't. And so, like, I was doing really good. Like, I was actually in a situation with somebody that it was really working out, and, like, their kid loved me, and it was actually really cool. Like, they had a kid. I don't want to say too much just so I'm not, putting their private life out there. But, like, they had a kid, and their kid was like, the kid never liked any of the boyfriends, like, ever. And unfortunately, there was, I guess, a warrant out for, I guess it was my half brother or somebody to that effect. And so to cover for him, because he's, I guess, like a professional criminal, they put one out on me back in 2023. And so that was, it really fucking sucked. It really sucked. But I swear to God, I tell you, if you're out there, if I actually have a half brother with the same name as me, and you're out there, you better, like, do not ever come to the state of California, because I will be the first person they question when you die. Suddenly. And I mean that. I don't mean that as a threat or a promise or whatever or information. That is me from my soul tearing through every possible, fathomable circumstance, informing you that if you, as my half-brother, if you exist, if you are alive, if you ever step foot in the state of California, and I know about it, and I know where you're at, I'm coming to kill you with my own bare hands. And that's going to be a righteous kill, not a murder or a crime. Remember that. I gave you one chance when I passed through Indiana. I gave you a chance. You didn't show up. So you're a fucking coward. I want nothing to do with you. I don't want to hear, oh, I was protecting you, I was this or that. No, I gave you one chance to meet me and for me to meet you. And you didn't I actually gave you two fucking chances. And you didn't show up. So fuck you. Do not ever try to exist in my life. I pray to God that whenever I do get my fame and my finances in order properly,
that you try to come and meet me. I hope you do, because I'll feel that much more comfortable after killing you that I won't get in trouble for it than if I were to do it now. So don't ever come near me. If it weren't for the fact that you are so inundated in the criminal culture and I would have to get my hands dirty to get my hands on you, like, I worked very hard to get my hands clean. It's not about an unwillingness to get my hands dirty. It's that I am now washed white and I'm doing good. And I don't want to deal with the drama of having to clean up again. So, like I said, if you ever want problems, all you have to do is step foot into the state of California. And I promise you, you will be immediately escorted back out of the state. If you ever try to steal from me, and I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to say that you've never stolen from me. You ever try to steal from me, I will find you. And I will rock your world. You will end up in prison on a PFA, and you'll never see your kids again. Mark my words. Tough love. It's the best I got for him is tough love. So back to the main storyline. So, like I said, there was this woman who I actually fell madly in love with very quickly, and it was real. And the kid loved me too, and that's what I was sad about, was like the kid loved me. The kid liked me, and I loved the kid. I did. I looked out for him at every turn. And to this day, I still have people looking out for them, which I'm technically not supposed to do. It's not against the law. It's not a crime. I wasn't asked to stay away or anything. I wasn't told or asked. So, I always make sure that they're safe. Every now and again, I have somebody check in just to make sure. But, it's such a shame that it didn't work out, because in my opinion, I found a winner. I really did. I found a really, really good woman that I really liked. And unfortunately, I think what happened was I think my wife got jealous, and so she turned around and had the individual that was at some point in another state from California, like another state outside of California, legally involved with me, who just, like I said, put me in a particular situation. So it cut things off between her and I. It was very disappointing, because it really could have worked out between her and I. I didn't lie to her, not a single time. I was doing everything right. I really was. And then a whole bunch of people lied to her, as usual. I'm not doing it again. I won't just leave the country this time, but I will leave you guys with earthquakes and hurricanes and tsunamis and floods and tornadoes. And 1 second, I'm trying to think about what other plagues I could. Locusts, just for dramatic effect. What else we got? What else can I muster up that people don't believe is possible, that you're going to mark me crazy for if you try? But I'll actually do it, and then you'll be like, holy fucking shit, when you're able to prove it. Yeah, I really will bring down the fire of the gods, proverbially speaking, in every form of natural disaster possible. If I am ever reincarcerated, yeah, So, just so you know. I don't really talk about it, obviously, but like, as some of you know, I have connections to some of the most influential, powerful, and authoritative people on the planet. I didn't say in the country, I said on the planet, on the whole planet. I can go further than that. Okay. And I really hate jail and prison. Really, really hate it. So, like, essentially, if you put me in jail, I will allow for an earthquake that destroys the prison and breaks everybody out, just so I don't have to go to prison. Well, we have a relocation plan, and we have. No, you're not accounting for all the secrets that'll go public if you do that. You're not accounting for everything that'll turn into social revelation if you do that. Guys, don't do it, but when you gotta fight back, fight back. When you can fight big, fight big. And so I don't spare any expense, as they say. People have seen me physically manipulate reality before. I will do it again. Do not put me in that position. Do not make me play Stranger Things in real life, because it fucking warps people's minds and it leaves them mentally ill, because people can't grasp what they're seeing, and so it drives them nuts. So we're not going to do that again. But trust me, if you ever reincarcerate me, I will bring down the powers of the gods, and I will do shit that people say is impossible. I will do it again. And it's not a crime. It's not yet considered a crime. They say, well, we'll get you for something else. You get me, I get you. Because that's one of the abilities that I have, is the ability to swap that. Like that person. Sometimes you gotta fight back. I know you want to blame me for Amy's death or find some type of connection, but I'll tell you the truth. Amy died because she couldn't control her alcohol. Thank you for taking her off the list of women that I might have been with in that way, or women that I might be married to. Thank you for that. But I promise you, I have nothing to do with Amy's death. I am telling you the truth. I am disappointed and sad to hear she's dead. Sure. Yeah. What did you think I was going to say? No? Are you kidding me? Do you see yourself? For the love of God. What do you call it? They're like, but I don't speak English. I'm like, so? I understand. I think I'll understand what you're saying when we're in bed. There's only a couple of phrases you really use in the bedroom. I'm pretty sure I'll understand what you're saying, even if it ain't English. I'm disappointed that Amy passed, because she was somebody that I definitely could have made things work with. I'm very disappointed in myself that I didn't stick around with her longer, and I was too judgmental about her drinking. I really was. I have to admit that to you. I was a jerk. Like, she was really nice to me, and at that point in time in my life, I was still so brainwashed, and I just didn't understand that I didn't have to be such a dick. And so, like, I don't think I hurt her feelings. I don't think I made her angry. I didn't really talk to her about any of what I was actually feeling about what she was doing. She even left me with her kid, like we played Roblox together and stuff. He was a nice kid. But I'm just disappointed to see her pass, that's all. She was real sweet. She had offered for me to make love to her.
offered, for me to have sex with her. And I turned her down, and I feel like such an idiot. That was before I had sex with anyone, and I didn't feel comfortable. Yeah, but she was so beautiful. She was such a beautiful woman. And I'm so disappointed in myself just for missing out on and passing on so many opportunities that she had offered me. Like, she offered for me to be with her, to be dating her. She offered for me to be, to lay in bed with her, offered for me to pretty much help her raise her kid. And like, she was talented and amazing, and I just feel so stupid for passing on everything that she had offered, especially considering now that she's gone. I'm like, I'll never know who I missed out on. I'll never know. Sorry, Tink's that Tink is someone from like years and years ago. They've been around in the Periscope type community for a very, very, very long time. So that's a person who most definitely knows who Amy is. So I'm like, all right, bye. This beautiful and talented woman, she was. Absolutely, she was. Very unfortunate. Her passing is very unfortunate. I will say that I think I've gotten a little. And that's just me. Like, I've just gotten too close to death too many times that I'm too familiar with it. And so, like, I have to be very careful when I talk about death and when I talk about people who have passed, as to not disrespect their memory, because I'm just so used to it that sometimes it comes off the wrong way. So I'm trying to talk appropriately. I can't say that it's a socio thing, because I definitely have feelings towards the situation having to do with her. But what I could say is I'm desensitized to it. Like when that guy passed in the porta potty, it was just another day. Like, it happens so often out here that it's just like, hey, did you hear so and so died today? Like, oh, no way. Like, yeah, he overdosed, or he got hit by a car, or she got in a fight with her boyfriend, and the boyfriend decided to take her life. Like, bad stuff happens, especially out here. Now, what I can tell you is it doesn't happen a lot within the community of people that are housed here in the area, but in the homeless community, there's a lot. There's a lot of murder. It's really bad. It's really, really, really bad. I can't say I've seen it, but I can't say that there hasn't been bodies, and it's really scary. So what I will tell you is, if you live in Hollywood, don't be afraid. Don't be paranoid. If you don't live on the street, you're probably not a target, because most of the homicide and the more violent, the more violent crimes that happen here in the area are amongst the homeless community. I don't see it a lot within the housed community, but I do see it quite often within the homeless community. And if you are like afraid, like most of the people
who have to worry about someone doing something to them, they're usually someone involved in that community, in like a crime community. So if you live out here in Hollywood and you're not involved in crime, then you probably don't have anything to worry about. Just letting you know. Like me personally, look at what I do. Like I lay out here, I'm right in the public. I'm right in plain view. There's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of people. And nothing ever happens to me. Ever. I've never had anything stolen from me. I have never been assaulted. I've never had anyone try to hurt me. I've never had anyone bother me while I'm in my spot. I've never had anyone bother me. Now, when I get up in the morning, I pack up my stuff and I get going for the day. I don't leave anything. Because when you leave stuff, people take it. So I don't leave anything. I mean, when I leave stuff, people don't take it, but it's not worth the risk. You know, I don't want to risk someone taking it. But I'll tell you what, some people said to me, you know, they're just kind of suggesting to me in one way or another, being suggestive about having bought a blanket. They're like, well, you should just, you know, you just buy that mat. Looks like you're doing yoga. Well, I'll tell you what, I got my mat, and the mat keeps me off the ground. If I didn't buy this blanket, I'd be freezing cold out here. I'd be freezing. So there's no way I would have been able to go without a blanket. So to the lawmakers, to any of our lawmakers here in Hollywood, do not splice those videos. Guys, I just want to give you a fair warning. You will get put on a domestic terrorist watch list if you splice my videos and send them to government officials. Like if you take me, like I'm about to like make a little PSA to government officials and ask them to like see if they could change the law where people could at least use a blanket outside. Because like it's like I don't want people out here, but I have now realized that like a blanket is literally necessary. Like you could die out here if you don't have a blanket. And like apparently now this is what I was told by a police officer. I was told that the hospitals will charge you money to stay there. So apparently they'll charge you like $40 a night to stay at a hotel. And that was a cop that told me that. So, you know, probably the truth. Probably that's how it is. But apparently, like a hospital, if they have an open bed and you don't have anywhere to stay for a night, apparently you could spend like $40 and stay the night at the hospital. I didn't know about that, but apparently that's the thing. Doesn't even sound like it makes sense, but I guess it's true. And then, so for me, it's like I realized that I need a blanket. So now I'm like, well, you know, I might not like homeless people. I might not want them out on the street. But, you know, the fact of the matter is I don't want them to die. You know, I mean, some of them, no offense, but I know they're like murdering people and raping people. So like if they could die, that's fine with me. But if you're not out here causing a whole lot of problems, and you're not going to carry the blanket around town and act like a scumbag, then sure, why not use a blanket or be allowed to use a blanket? But if you're going to carry the blanket around town, like there's some of these guys that'll go and they'll walk around town carrying their blanket, and they'll be dipping in the trash cans. Oh my God, I want to go, dude, I just want to rip them. You have no idea how mad that makes me. It's so disgusting. It makes everybody look bad. Oh, it drives me nuts. Can't stand it. I'd have to say that's my biggest pet peeve right now, is seeing some of these homeless people reaching in the trash. And when the ones that are, you know what? Yeah, I'll tell you what bothers me more. It bothers me more that they're reaching in the trash cans than that they're carrying blankets. It really bothers me that they're reaching in the trash cans. It looks disgusting. It makes all of us look bad. It makes everybody look dirty. Secondly, is if we can get these streets cleaned up and the pavement cleaned, I don't know how that would work. but like there's so much gook and soot that's just caked into the pavement. If there was any way, like all the way up to the Hollywood Bowl, you know, like I was up at the Hollywood Bowl today. I was coming down from the hills, from the heights. No. And as I was saying, I was coming from the heights, and I went down through the Hollywood Bowl, and I went down past the Hollywood Bowl. Oh my gosh, people are stupid. And so I'm going down past the hotels, and the pavement just needs to get worked on. Like now. Like it needs to be washed. It needs to be power washed. It looks absolutely atrocious. It's looked atrocious for almost 2 years, and I am ashamed to say that I walk these streets, especially without shoes on. You know, like to be walking these streets barefoot is embarrassing when you have, like, it makes me look dirty. Like, I like being barefoot, and so people be like, oh, that's so dirty that he's out here barefoot. He's dirty. I'm like, I'm dirty. Look at the fucking street. No. If I was at home, I could walk the sidewalk barefoot and people wouldn't think two things about it. They wouldn't think it's gross. I'd just be walking on the fucking sidewalk, you know, in a farm town. Whereas here in the city, they're like, oh, it's gross. So it's the city. It's supposed to be gross. No, it's not supposed to be gross. It's supposed to be clean. Like the whole idea was for it to be clean. That's the blueprint. That's our new world. Our new world order is supposed to be nice, clean streets, not fucking disgusting grime and, you know, gross ass shit all over the sidewalk. Sometimes literally. So do not tell me that I shouldn't be wearing shoes because the ground is gross or because I'm gross. Clean the ground. That's what I say. So with that said, last but not least is people carrying around blankets. If I see you in Hollywood with a blanket, please, I am begging you. And I'm being nice about it because I feel bad for you, because I realize, like, I know what it's like. I do know what it's like for a blanket to be your comfort zone. I get that. I really do understand. And so my blanket is my comfort zone. And I love my blanket. And I wrap my blanket up and I pack it up onto my backpack. And I don't carry it around looking like a homeless person. I pack it up. And so if you are homeless, I get that your blanket is your safe zone. If you need a safe zone, you probably shouldn't be on Hollywood Boulevard. Like if you need your blanket over your body as your safe zone, you should probably be in a mental health facility or off of Hollywood Boulevard. Do what I did in the times when I felt uncomfortable. Dip off to Sunset. Go up to the Hollywood Bowl. Go somewhere else. Guys, I mean, literally, the reason I started making friends with famous people was because whenever I was uncomfortable down in the valley, I actually took a hike. And I ended up meeting people. And they didn't know that at the time I was unhoused, you know? And it went from there. And that's why he's going to prison. Add to the list. Olivia, I have to tell you, I do not remember your language. I don't even remember what language that is. You reteach it to me, but that's the best I could do right now. Part of what's called compartmentalizing and debriefing and decommissioning someone. So, like, if you've ever heard of, like, a plane being decommissioned, it's when, like, it's like when a vehicle or some form of apparandi is coming out of service, you have to decommission it. So you take it out of service, you don't use it anymore, right? Well, when I was taken out of service, let's say it that way, all right, when I was being decommissioned, and humans do get decommissioned when you serve a certain purpose and you're an operative, you play a certain role, you do a certain job, you do what you're supposed to do, and then you get out. Well, what I could tell you is that when I was in, or not in, whatever, I got decommissioned. And with that went about 27 different languages that I used to know. So pretty much it's like a whole lot of stuff that I knew. In order for me to step back into my regular life, I had to forget, because essentially there was a whole bunch of stuff that I was taught that if I remembered it, I would have to explain how I knew it, and I'd have to be able to explain how I knew what I knew. So there was a lot of stuff that I had been taught that I'm now relearning, but I have to relearn it so that I have like a source from which to draw from to claim a storyline to say where I learned it from. So as of right now, it's like, as far as relearning languages, I remember stuff that I'm not supposed to remember. So they had to declassify a good amount of, let's just say, information, and certain dockets had to be released. But so I remember that I used to know over 30 languages. At one point, I remember that I knew 24. Now I remember I knew 30 something. Like maybe I knew more than that. I don't remember. But as I'm starting to relearn Russian and relearn Norwegian and relearn Spanish and relearn Portuguese, I'm starting to remember that I once knew more languages. And so it's all coming back to me. It's a long journey of memory recovery. So yeah. And some people will call bullshit on me. Well, I don't care. As long as I'm able to continue proving myself. What difference does it make, you know? And people put me to the test too sometimes, you know? And they find out. They're like, oh shit, he's the real deal. I'm like, guys, I told you they used to call me 007 for a reason. That wasn't a joke. I ain't lying to you. And I'll tell you, when I get on for one of these targets, man, it gets me going. I tell you, I can't anymore. I'm not allowed to. I'm just so disappointed in some of them when they think it's like funny to poke at me, you know? I'm disappointed at best, but I am disappointed. I thought they knew better. And they're like, well, we're trying to test you. I'm like, with all due respect, you're not qualified. You're not supposed to be the one doing it. They're like, well, I wanted to try it. I'm like, that's like testing on animals. Like, well, I just wanted to see if the monkey would die if I fed him nail polish, you know? Like, yes, I just called myself a monkey, and yes, that's just me, like, metaphorically accusing you of trying to feed me nail polish, but, like, hopefully you see the lunacy in the entirety of the statement to begin with. Well, that's my point. That's the situation, is like, it's like you trying to feed a monkey nail polish to see if the monkey's going to die or not. Like, we're more advanced than this. You don't need to be split testing. It's 2024. Split testing is kind of old news. Just saying. People are like, split testing is very effective. Yeah, it's very effective when you're totally ignoring the psychological, you know, status and emotions of the individual. Okay, well, I'm not gonna lie to you. I gotta see your face. You're welcome to, but I gotta see your face. I'm not gonna make sure to not put you on camera, but I just want to see what you look like. But I'll tell you what, if you pull up here and you hop in the back seat, you're good looking. I might get into the driver's seat and then ask you where we're going, and then go from there. But I don't think I'll be getting in the back seat with you. Yeah, I won't. Not out here. I'm not. It's disrespect to me, disrespect to you, disrespect to the community. But what I would do is hop in that driver's seat and ask you where we're going. It doesn't have to be your place, and you don't have to know where we're going, because I already have ideas. But I would. You test me, I test you. I'd ask you where we're going, And whether you got an answer or not, I got some ideas. Just don't get murdered afterwards because I don't feel like getting blamed. And as long as you're not like the face or the bait of some criminal syndicate or like jail bait, then I'm probably down. Probably down. Okay. That I'm sorry, but I mean, how much does that really mean, you know? I don't know if you can handle me, but I welcome you to try. I hope you don't back out because at this point, honestly, you've created interest for me. Now I'm interested. This ought to be good. You better hurry though, because I can't stay live too much longer. I'm shutting down in a couple of minutes. And it was already the plan to shut down in a couple of minutes. Okay. Well, I might be quick the first couple of times, but after that, yeah, that's fine. First, I mean, if you're really that good looking, I ain't gonna lie to you, I might be done. It might be round 4. It might technically be round 4 within the first 20 minutes. But I'm still good to keep going. At least until I'm still rebuilding. But let me, what I will tell you, if I am asleep by the time you get here, if you feel like it, just wake me up. Just don't expect me to be nice because I might be like, oh my gosh, like who's bothering me, you know? So, all right. I'm shutting the broadcast down. Like I said, if you come down here and I'm asleep, just wake me up. Just don't get mad at me or like, because some people around here, you know how they get. They're like, oh, okay. Like, no, just like give me a minute to like register your face and like realize who I'm looking at, you know? But I'm going to shut the broadcast down. And looks to me like I'm going to have a nice, enjoyable night no matter what. Okay. Just be sure you're not being set up for like getting murdered. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, hint, Liam Payne just died. Like, this shit ain't no game. And I am the real thing. So, like, I don't care how nutso I sound. I am telling you the truth and I am not joking. So, yeah. As long as you got it like that, I'll be right here. Right. Good night. This is one of those situations that seems too good to be true, so I'm like, but it might not be. I know I deserve better, so we'll see what happens. Good night, everyone.